And we are live.
We are live. Kyle, what are we doing here? It's not the 13th of the month. Why is there an episode of Dead Air?
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Is it the demand of our fans?
Maybe.
Is it the demand of our fans that we've built up over the last 2 years? Because, hey, everybody, welcome to an anniversary episode of Dead Air.
I like how Wayne always sticks to the script.
That wasn't even in the script. Come on, man. Give me some props for improvising.
Yeah, so in the spirit of us being 2 years, we are drinking alcohol.
Yes.
He's drinking wine. I'm drinking my favorite Tiger. Please sponsor us.
I swear to God, that seems to be like we change themes and we change guests in every episode.
Yep.
But the one common theme is Tiger beer. Please sponsor us.
Yeah, you gotta love the Tiger beer, man.
Wow.
Bring the spirits in.
You love the Tiger beer. I'm happy with my wine. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, Lost to Malaysia. I see you down there.
Nice hair, Wayne.
Oh, thank you.
You know, he left a really nice comment. He said that, I think in one of the episodes for Data, he said that whether you have a beard or not, they still love you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Aw, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I generally prefer the beardless look now because beards are very itchy. No, so I swear to God, we weren't coming in to talk about beards and how we want Tiger Beer to sponsor us. No, as we were saying,
Yep.
it is 2 years since, about 2 years, right? Since
Yeah.
we launched HANTU, the brand, and we launched it in style with Ghost Maps.
Yes.
So we're here today to talk about Ghost Maps itself. That's why you don't see any other guests. We hope you don't see any other guests, because if you see somebody else behind us, then that one's not planned, not like our Drunken Ramblings podcast episode.
Yeah. So that one is actually real Hantu lah.
That one's real HANTU. That one's real dry cabinet lah.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about the 2 year anniversary of Ghost Maps, and we're talking also about now that we've hit the 2 year mark, where are we going? How did we get here?
Are we shutting down Ghost Maps? No lah, we're not lah.
Don't spread these kind of rumors. Next thing you know, it's gonna be on every front page in Southeast Asia. It's like Ghost Map shutting down, riots in the streets.
Yeah. So anyway, appreciate the close-up angles by Lost in Malaysia. Actually, it's not by choice. I hope everybody is at home staying safe. This period is especially tough for everyone.
Yeah.
So we hope that we can bring some entertainment to you guys, and also to celebrate our 2 year anniversary, right?
I like, by the way, how we started talking nonsense straight off the bat.
Yep,
We didn't
yep.
even introduce ourselves. So if you're joining us, by the way, we're here to celebrate the second anniversary of Ghost Maps, and I am the writer of Ghost Maps. I'm Wayne, and this is Kyle, the director and co-creator of Ghost Maps.
Yeah.
So we should have got that out of the way at the start.
Oh yeah. So much for sticking to the script.
Yeah, just the script went out the window I think once the wine and the beer came in.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think we should we start with how, I'm sure a few of you tuning in know why we started Ghost Maps in the first place. But I guess for anybody who's watching this, who joined us in maybe the last year or something, and if you've been enjoying Ghost Maps, that's
Yep.
great. We really appreciate it. But if you're wondering why we started Ghost Maps, and we did get the reason across in some rambly version of it in an old episode of Dead Air. But the reason why we started Ghost Maps, Carl, do you wanna take, because I always take the lead on this one, and I start rambling on, but I think you're a bit more concise than I am.
Okay, so wait, let me just type on him correctly, because the camera flipped.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we started Ghost Maps simply based on the idea of the oral tradition of telling horror stories. I think that is very Asian, that's very Southeast Asian.
Yeah.
It's always us telling our friends in class, you heard of the story, about the fourth floor toilet, there's a ghost, or some supernatural experience. And I think that is losing out. Lesser people are talking about ghost stories. It's not because we truly believe in them. It's more of continuing the tradition of what is telling ghost stories. And we love horror, or for me at least, I love telling horror stories. So I really think that there is a lack of people telling ghost stories in Southeast Asia, and out of necessity, I started Ghost Maps. Of course, then Wayne joined me on this crazy journey, and then voila, 2 years has passed.
I think that's something that we've probably talked about it a little bit, but I don't think we've outright said it. Like prior to Ghost Maps, I never wrote horror. I never I'd seen horror movies, and I'd seen, like, you know, if you talk to me about Shutter, I could talk your ear off about Shutter because I really love that movie. But you know, between the two of us, Carl is the bigger horror nerd. And I mean that in a very loving way. But ever since we started working on, even then, when, you know, Carl could tell you, like, specifically, this horror director did this, and then he did it with this person, but then they also did this with this other director. You know, Carl can give you, like, real, like, solid film knowledge of horror. But I'm new to it. But at the same time, I think we both bonded over the fact that we both loved that tradition of telling ghost stories. And I like that Carl brought up the fact that, you know, it's not about believing in the ghost per se. It's about the fact that it's part of our culture, and we felt that part of our culture wasn't as strong as it used to be. So that's why we created Ghost Maps all those years ago. All those 2 years ago. And yeah, so like, I never, in every single script that we've written for Ghost Maps, right from the start, the approach that we decided to take was, you know, we'll tell it like how people tell each other ghost stories, and Carl doing it for the grams, Carl.
Yeah.
And I think we've maintained that all the way through. I think we've both gotten better at Ghost Maps, but I like that still stays the guiding force, that, you know, we're doing this because we want to keep that tradition alive. For all of you who are tuning in, please, this isn't just me and Carl talking and patting ourselves on the back, although there would be a lot of us patting ourselves on the back. But please join in. I think we wanted to do this on Dead Air because we didn't have Dead Air last year. Dead Air is relatively new, but we wanted to do this on Dead Air because we wanted you guys to be here as well, because it only felt right that we celebrate Ghost Maps anniversary with all of you, because the fact that we made it to 2 years, yes, it's because me and Carl love doing this, but the secret third partner, aside from our voice talent, aside from the narrator, who is not here today, just in case you're wondering, aside from him, our secret third partner in Ghost Maps is you guys. We wouldn't be able to continue this if you guys weren't enjoying what we're doing anyway. So this isn't a two-way conversation. This is a group chat. So keep the comments coming.
Think of it like a online version of a Ouija board, you know, where we are like the speakers, we are the summoners, and you guys are the spirits.
Oh, okay. No, that's good, because, like, you know, at least they're the spirits. But, you know, because if you said we were the spirits, just this is the saddest pair of ghosts ever.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, hey, you want to do a podcast? Ooh,
Boo.
let me tell you about writing. Ooh.
Yeah, so let me just address some comments. Lost in Malaysia said that nice merch, might buy soon. Thank you very much.
Is Lost in Malaysia, are you talking about this? I think you're talking about that.
Look at that. Yeah. It looks beautiful.
It does.
Yeah.
Very little known fact. These t-shirts make you look like you have abs.
So, good evening, Dennis. Thank you for joining in as usual.
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Yes.
Dude, like, it's okay. We don't want to tell people to drink whatever they want to drink. You can just drink whatever you want.
I'll be honest. I said this is wine is probably it.
Yeah, we are a bit of an alcoholic lah, or at least for me.
I didn't see Carl pour it, so I'm assuming it's Ribena. So this is all like placebo.
Yeah, and right. You shouldn't drink underage. That's for sure.
Oh yes.
Legally, you shouldn't drink underage. And
goodness gracious, yes.
I feel like I need every time I do a Ghost Maps episode, almost every time, when I'm editing, and usually it's at night, I need the liquid courage. So Tiger Beer, shout out.
I don't understand you.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can do this editing at night. Like, I assume you start during the day, because like I'm sure I've said this before, but if anybody didn't realize, I never write ghost map scripts at night.
Oh.
Like the moment it hits evening, I can't even look at my screen because I'll see my reflection and I'll think to myself, is there something behind me?
No. I mean, I get that, because I used to, because of COVID, right? We don't really work in offices anymore. But I used to have a studio in some ulu part of Singapore where we are based in. I used to edit to 3 a.m. at night for ghost maps, and I must say I was quite terrified. Because my studio was really small. It's one of those cubicle offices at that point, and I was very glad that my back was a wall, so I couldn't like feel anyone standing. So if there was a spirit that was staring at me, it's probably a contorted one, which made it even scarier. But I had issues going to the washroom after that. It was really creepy. But I will always go into the washroom at 3 a.m. after editing ghost maps. I'll be like opening the door, and then I'll be like, there's someone here working. I do not want to work late, but I don't have a choice. So please excuse me. But usually there's nothing lah,
It would be funny if there was somebody else working late in the office. Like, not your office, but like one of the other offices. Because I remember that place, and there was like a few different offices down there.
Yeah,
It'd be funny if you like somebody else was working late and then they're in the toilet like, why is he talking to me?
Yeah, that'll be creepy. Yeah. So
Yes. The night shift, as we would call it.
Oh, this is really sweet. Cham cham tato. I almost wanted to say cham cham tomato for some reason, but cham cham tato works also.
It might be short.
Yeah,
It could be Chummington, Chumster, Tomato the third. Maybe that's their full name.
Tato the first or something.
Oh, the first, yes, of course. No, I'm sorry that I said that you're the third. You're the first in your line.
Hi guys, just wanted to say that your high quality content is really helping me pull through mugging and A-levels. Your stories have definitely rekindled my interest in Singapore culture and tradition via horror. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you to everyone for the support for the past 2 years. Really, really appreciate it. To be honest, we don't make big bucks from this. We both have day jobs, right? Wayne's a writer, I'm a filmmaker. So yeah, I really appreciate the support and the love for what we do at HANTU and Ghost Maps. But I must say though, studying is important. And I'm glad that Ghost Maps can help you in study. Next time, when you pass your exam with flying colors, right? You can tell your lecturer, because ghosts help me. Why? Because Ghost Maps. Okay, like it was a poor attempt at lame joke, but also
that summarizes both of us for every episode. Poor attempts at lame jokes.
Also, the stories told in Ghost Maps, the spirits at least, they're not just Singapore culture, they are of a bigger region, Southeast Asia. And I feel like as we make these episodes, I'm also learning a lot about Southeast Asia. We may or may not have a new series that's coming soon. So you heard it here first. So
we can't officially announce
it's also
it.
Southeast Asia.
Yes.
It's also horror to some extent.
Yeah.
And yep.
Yes. Leave that hanging there.
Leave that hang. Let them
yes.
Stir in there.
Yeah, we will probably have something to announce. We might have more than one thing to announce relative to you. We probably will announce at least one new thing during this episode of Dead Air. But there will be other things that we can talk about down the line. But yeah, no. Going to Carl's point, it's not just for us it did start as Singapore culture. It was the Singapore ghost stories that we told, and not just the true Singapore ghost stories by Russell Lee, although he definitely did play a part. No, we started out in Singapore because we might cover some familiar territory that those of you who tune in regularly, and thank you if you do, but we might repeat some of the stuff that we talk about in other episodes just in case it's the first time you're tuning in, and because it's just us now. So we started out with Singaporean stories just because we were approaching friends and like people we knew for these stories. And like we say that, we wanted to celebrate our second anniversary with you guys because you're like the silent third partner, and we mean that more than just your your listens and your views and stuff like that, because especially I think in the last year, more than that first year, we did have some of you contribute stories in that first year, like people we don't know personally, like listeners. Start send HANTU.sg is the URL, Carl, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, HANTU.sg. You guys went to our contact form, and you started submitting your own stories as well that we can use as inspiration for episodes of Ghost Maps. So somewhere in like the first year and more so in the second year, a lot more of the episodes stopped being from like our friends and our families, and they started to incorporate the stories that you guys have shared with us. And because you guys have been sharing your stories with us, it's become more of a regional show. We started out with the plan to make it Southeast Asian anyway, but the initial focus was very much Singapore, and then once you guys started coming in and you know more people started submitting, it became much more Southeast Asian. I still remember the day we and we'll talk more about like the episodes we like, but I still remember the day we had like our first, I can't remember which one it was, but the first episode that was set in the Philippines. I can't remember which one it was.
I'm not trying to. I'm trying not to open the tab to find out.
No. You can test your brain power, because I'm clearly forgetful. Hi from the Philippines. I see somebody literally saying hi from the Philippines. But the first episode we had set in the Philippines. I remember it was you opening a tab, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm moving a tab.
The first episode we set in the Philippines, literally, like not all the comments, but most of the comments that we got, especially on YouTube, were, "Yeah, Philippines, yeah, finally episode from Philippines, yeah." And we felt so good about that, because we were like, we know that we can see that quite a few of you listen to from the Philippines, and we really wanted to do an episode set in the Philippines, because we
Mangkukulam.
yeah. Yes, the Mangkukulam one. Yeah.
I was just editing it for a special thing. Yeah, but
that's another thing we can.
Yeah, Mangkukulam. Yes.
Yes. Mangkukulam.
I love that episode. Basically a witch, right? Please watch it or listen to it if you have not seen it. That is that was actually really creepy because I drink. So to black out like that and to have something supernatural happen to you, I mean, that has never happened to me, as per se, but it's scary to know because I'm someone who drinks.
I just have wine, so that's not. If I black out from wine, it's I will fear embarrassment more than anything else. Yeah, it's the haunted by how sad that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember that first episode that was set in the Philippines, and
there's more.
There's more coming.
There's more to come. We try to cover. Then again, I must reiterate this point. We try to cover Southeast Asia as much as like not just Singapore and Malaysia, but because we actually get real stories and we need to fact check them. We need to have a conversation with you guys when you guys send in a story to check, and we need to do proper research so that the culture, the entity is properly represented. The last thing we want to do is to just take this story as a whole and then just wholesale that. That's not what we are about. We really love telling horror, so we want to do it right. So that's why it take time. Yeah. I
mean, I hope that some of you who've contributed stories can see that, where it's a case of your story forms the basis for the episode. But we don't want to just take your story wholesale, because if not, then that's not doing you justice. We're just retelling what you told us. We want to add our own flourishes on it. We want to add our own takes on it, whether it's from a director standpoint or from a writer standpoint.
We want to insert our own spirit.
Yep.
So
it's a terrible pun, but it
terrible.
No, but it definitely fits down here. It definitely sums up very well. You can clearly tell who the writer is, because I'm the one that just keeps talking. And then Carl sums up with one pun. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't really say a name. I'm failed as a half Thai, but maybe there's ghosts everywhere and we can't see it. Yes.
I don't think that's even a maybe. I think that they are.
I don't know what to say to that because I'm a I'm not religious, but I'm also not really a non-believer.
Yeah, no.
Because I've seen stuff, right?
I mean, you and I are kind of in the same boat down there, and but
Yeah.
but for me, it's like even as a non-religious person, I like to think that that if they do exist, they're everywhere. It's just that
Yeah.
some people, not the brightest bulbs in the batch, like to poke the bear, so to speak, or some people just are unfortunate, or for whatever reason it is, some people happen to encounter them. I do like to think that they're
Yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, as much as I love a really creepy and atmospheric horror story, right? The ones that are really nice, for me, are the ones that actually change someone's life. I think those, they change your perspective, they change the way you act in front of someone. I think those, and we've covered a couple of stories, like like the 3-part one where we did for the Hungry Ghost Month.
Yeah.
That was when Wayne first showed me the draft for the script. I was like, wow, this is something different.
Yeah.
This is something that may change perception of how people view it supernatural, because a lot of the times they were human once, so they are not all malicious. Sometimes they just need help, right? Which is kind of sweet if you think about it.
Kyle, before we get to another comment, I have to ask then, because I've spoken about how I really like the episode in the Philippines. What's one of your favorite episodes of Ghost Maps, Kyle?
Oh, this is a really
I like
tough-
how you're about to swear. I could hear it because you're like he's seen these questions in advance, so the fact that he's still like I'm so touched by that. I say I'm so touched. So he also was a part of making this.
It's very hard, but I guess it will be the episode for the World War II one, where the spirit actually protected the spirit chased out like invaders of a country.
Yeah.
I mean Japanese soldiers Japanese imperial soldiers that invaded Bahau, if I'm not
Bahau. Yeah. it was
remembering.
Bahau.
I this story is told by your
It was a friend of mine. Yeah.
a friend of yours, right?
Yeah. It was his not his grandfather, because then that would literally make it my grandfather's story. No, it was his dad. His dad shared the story with us, and we took it and we built an episode of Ghost Maps around it as well. But
which I really think that sometimes they're there to help. I'm not saying that all of them are good, right?
Yeah.
Generally they they
And
are
you could say the
negative energy, right?
you could say the same thing about people. Not all of them are good.
Of
not all
course.
of them are bad.
But that's one of the stories that I really like them standing up to oppressors. I feel like even in the spirit realm there are good ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite till this day, I mean, I could give the diplomatic answer and go, they're all our babies. We love them all equally.
We love all of
And
them.
we,
right?
we definitely love all the stories that we've written.
Yeah.
But I think one of my favorites is still the one that was set in the early days of Pulau Tekong,
Oh yeah.
before it became an army
That
training
was my
facility.
dad's story.
Oh man, I love that story.
Yeah.
And like I don't think we've revealed too much about the behind the scenes of how the episode, because this is before Dead Air came out. But I still remember there was a bit in this, and a lot of the core of that story comes from your dad's telling of it. But I had written it, and there was I can't remember the exact line now because it's been a while. But there was when I showed it to Carl when something's missing, like you end very abruptly down here. Can we like expand it a little bit? So I took his feedback on that, and then I expanded it a little bit. And when I expanded it, like I'm not patting myself on the back here, because this is not like, this would never have happened if Carl hadn't given the feedback.
Right.
So when I expanded, like the bit that I expanded where there was a line, and my Bahasa is terrible. My Bahasa Melayu is terrible, so I'm not gonna. And my memory is even worse, so I'm not gonna try to remember what the line was. But I included a line in there, and when our narrator read it out, we were in the recording booth, and I just sat there and I went, oh.
Yeah.
because
But
that made the episode.
It was like the main character was telling the entity, which is most probably a Pontianak.
Yeah.
So we are protected by the
Miss
sun.
P, Miss P, Carl, Miss P. It's
Sun
9
de-
o'clock.
We're protected by the sun deity, and then she was like, but for how long, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
subsequently Pulau Tekong was removed for our non-Singaporean friends, or people who are familiar with Singapore. Pulau Tekong was transformed into a military base, and there it is a known fact that it's one of the most haunted places in Singapore. Yeah, so I think there is a reason for cause, and it's very different from the usual Pulau Tekong stories that that is submitted or that is told.
I used to say that's why that's why it's my favorite. But then now literally saying out loud and going through like talking about like how you provided the feedback and that made the story better.
It's a team effort, dude.
But that's why it's my favorite episode, because if you wanted to point to what Ghost Maps is, aside from our mission statement of like we want to keep the oral tradition of ghost stories alive, I think that summarizes why I love Ghost Maps so much, because it's not just one person. Like you kind of blur the lines where the director and the writer and the voice talent like ends.
Yeah. No, these are like for every project, for every Netflix show, for every TV show, or every film, every single content that you consume is a team. It's never one person, even though the title may be one person, but it's not one person. Yeah.
Hey man, I say this as a writer, and people always like assume that writers like sitting in his room and like quietly typing and then like got whiskey and then cigarette on there, which sometimes is true. But at the end of the day, like you still have your editors, you have your book designers and everything. So the art is never created in silo. It's always the best art. I feel is always at least partially a team effort.
So Dennis was saying like 2 years time flies, right?
Oh man.
Oh yeah, it's quite surreal. It's really really surreal to have done it for 2 years, because we're just doing it, right? We don't really count like, oh, this is how many months or what. Only when it's like, September comes and then we are like, okay, it's another year. So there is don't be sad. It's just life, and we are happy to be there with you at any certain point of your life. We're happy to be of entertainment and to reignite certain memories for you, which is pretty cool.
I'm glad you kept talking, but in that whole time I could not think of a good Green Day pun when you said September. I'm a little bit disappointed with myself, I have to admit.
Green Day don't sleep in September.
I know they don't sleep
because they keep waking people up.
No, well, see, that's where you're wrong. They're supposed to wake them up when September ends.
Yeah, but they need to prepare what?
What? So like the whole of September is just the snooze button. Okay.
Yeah.
If y'all thought to yourselves, okay, it's just gonna be rain and calm, then we know like weird tensions. You're wrong.
Yeah. Hi Winnie Choi. Hello from Singapore. Hello from Hong Kong. I grew up in Singapore, so listening to all the stories on your channel really takes me back to my high school days, telling ghost stories on Sentosa Beach.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say this,
Sentosa Beach, yes.
but I'm probably gonna slaughter it. But my kendo is weak.
Oh, Kyle.
Lei ho ma.
This is like
okay.
I mean,
so thank you for the support.
I'm going to pimp a little bit of what we've been doing recently. But like,
yes, please.
As y'all, I'm sure as y'all have tuned in and seen, Kyle took a bonus episode of Ghost Maps. Sorry, not Ghost Maps. Bonus episode of Dead Air, where he spoke to our friends from what's the name of the podcast?
Ghost Talk.
I was hoping that you say it in like.
So for Ghost Talk for our non-Mandarin speaking friends.
Yes.
鬼才信你 for our Mandarin speaking friend is basically ghosts then believe you. Only ghosts would believe you in that sense lah. So they are one of the top Malaysia Mandarin horror podcasts, and actually it was me who reached out to them because like many of you, even though I do horror content, right? I create Ghost Maps with Wayne. I'm also a horror content consumer. So I listen to a lot of horror content. I listen to Les Reed, Swamp Dweller, Corpse Husband, Lazy Masquerade. The list goes on like a lot. And I do listen to some regional horror podcasters as well. So I'm actually a fan. So I reached out to them one evening while I was doing Ghost Maps. Just out of the sudden, I was like, I need to talk to them about ghost stories. We need to share ghost stories with each other. And then surprisingly, they replied in like 10 minutes, and then it was set up. So for those who can actually understand Mandarin, please head over to their Spotify. I'll link it later to support, because I'm on their channel to tell a couple of ghost stories that you have not heard on Ghost Maps. They are in Mandarin. I'm so sorry, because they are a Mandarin only horror podcast. But they also came over on Dead Air, a bonus episode 1 for Dead Air, which was premiered last week. And the team and I spent a lot of time translating every single bit of that 2 hour and 30 minutes of story into English subtitles so that you guys can enjoy it.
Carl's very sweet. He says the team was translating. Obviously, I had no part in that.
No, but we had a team lah.
We had a team, yes, but you know, I clearly could not do any translating. If I'm not wrong, I appeared at the start and I go ni hao.
Yep, that's his part. He said ni hao and then he said goodbye.
Yes, yeah. I did the sign off. So you know, that was my contribution to the episode where.
No, we gotta have Wayne in Dead Air. There's no Dead Air without Wayne.
Oh, sweetheart, you.
Yeah. So AC said hello, Carl and Wayne. Hello from the Philippines. Mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
Yep. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it.
We probably are. You yourself said that you couldn't even do the Cantonese properly. So like, you know, like,
yeah.
I sometimes wonder how I managed to even like handle English.
Right. Hi Wesley.
Hey Wesley. Every episode.
Every episode. Very, very supportive. Yes. Thank you, Wesley. Also in Malaysia says that for the special thing that you mentioned, could it be a compilation of Ghost Stories Part 2? Yes.
Did you tell Lost in Malaysia this?
No.
Well done, Lost in Malaysia.
Yeah. You guys got to thank him because he basically told you guys our plans.
I mean, to be fair, we would have told plans, but you got it out of us sooner. Yes, it will be a new compilation.
I will give you this hint. It's close to 3 hours long. Yep.
Was that our version of ASMR?
Probably.
We're the worst people to be doing ASMR.
Yeah.
Neither of us have soothing. We're clearly not the narrator.
Yeah. So Danny said, is it him or is there a gloomy atmosphere tonight? It's beginning to sound like we're doing the last episode. Hope not.
No.
Okay. We have to set the precedent, right? We're just a little bit buzzed because we had a mini celebration between the two of us and our team.
Yeah.
We do have other people helping us with artwork, with editing and stuff. If not, we really cannot handle that much on top of our day jobs. And all of us have day jobs.
Yeah.
We're doing it purely out of passion. Yeah. As of now. We do have big plans though. It's not the last episode.
No,
I don't want to promise you guys the moon, but I can say that so long that Wayne and I still have the heart, and we do, to create horror content, we will continue creating horror content until the end of time.
Carl, it's very interesting that you said content and not just the podcast, but we'll get back to that later on. Yeah. Well, what else we got?
Blah Nakat. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly, or if it's just like a random name that you type. Hi from Indonesia. Always love to listen you guys' story. Best partner for me time. I know, right? Like, not even for my own Ghost Maps podcast. Like, I really, really love it. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think or what you guys do. I really love it when I listen to horror podcasts while I cook or while I'm doing like something that doesn't really require me to listen to the world. I think that's like the most therapeutic thing ever. It's like the best thing you could do for your mental health. I don't know. I
mean, I'm sure there's other things you can do for your mental health, but Ghost Maps is definitely good for your mental health.
It helps people sleep.
Yeah. No. Okay. If you guys are leaving comments, please leave a comment of what's your preferred way of listening to Ghost Maps. Is it like on the train ride to work? I mean, probably fewer train rides to work now. Is it like, to unwind in the middle of the day while you're cooking? We've had a few people tell us that they listen to Ghost Maps to help them relax so they can fall asleep, because apparently our narrator sounds very soothing. I I love him, but the soothing thing, I'm like, I mean, I get it, but also at the same time, really? Okay, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, please share with us how you listen to your ghost maps. If you listen to ghost maps to get into sexy time with your partner, I'm not promising any prizes, but I'm quite sure if we did have a competition that will win it.
I would know. I mean,
You'll get like, we'll high five the camera, I guess.
swipe
That's
right.
that's the best we can give you. Is like, how do you put somebody in the mood? Well, I put on an episode of Ghost Maps.
Okay, thanks, Winnie. My canto is really weak. But you are very kind. 識聽廣東話，但係唔識講少少啊。So I basically said in Canto, I can understand Cantonese, but I can't really speak it that well. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I totally understood it.
Yeah.
I totally understood it. What he just said. Yes, I just
Yeah,
understood
totally, right?
a
Yeah.
glass of wine. No, going back to Blair Nakat's comment, I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many incredible, you know, not just podcasts but like radio shows and like movies and stuff like that come from Indonesia. The TV is Supernatural, and you know, anytime somebody from Indonesia says that they're fans of what we do, we're just like,
Thank you.
dude,
Thank
really,
you. Yeah.
thank you.
Like,
So,
podcast is booming in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So really, really appreciate the support.
Yes.
But if you know of any Indonesian creators that does deal with English content or like a bit of English content, please let us know.
Yes.
You can reach out to them and then we probably can get them on Dead Air or like try to get them on Dead Air.
Yes.
I do know a few folks in Indonesia lah, like content creators in the Indonesia space, so I can reach out to people. And it's also I guess this is also kind of like an announcement that we will try to make Dead Air international as much as possible.
Yeah.
To get other guests on the show. Like for the folks at Ghost Talks, Gui Cai Xing Ni, right? Or they are probably the first international audience, even though I know that, you know, they don't speak English, or the episode is not recorded in English, but we did what we could to, you know, subtitle it. And I'm so sorry, Lost in Malaysia, that is very hard for you. I get it because you want to listen to it, you don't want to you don't want to read the comments. I totally get it. So no pressure. We could probably convert some of the stories. There was one that is super creepy about one school one, where one of the co-hosts, Kira, actually mentioned in Malaysia. So that I could probably adapt that to Ghost Maps, but I would need to talk to them. Yeah. The subtitles. Oh man, close to a week of work. Yeah, but thank you. Yeah.
I clearly did none of the translations.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I was like, come on, Carl, you can do it. Yeah. I cheered him on. That's why I cheered him on.
WSA said, "Oh, hi WSA, nice to see you. No win, hashtag no win, no Dead Air." Yes,
I like the hashtag.
I agree. There's only Dead Air if you have Carl and Win.
That's correct.
Anything else, that's probably a Ghost Maps horror story. Right? If you see anyone else or anything else.
Well, I mean, aside from our guests lah.
uninvited guests.
Uninvited guests, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just check back. Yeah.
Okay. We pronounce Mabuhay correctly. Thank you very much. Thanks for letting us.
That's about as far as we're gonna go in Tagalog.
We learn the saying hello.
At least for right now,
yeah,
because we don't want to butcher the language.
Yeah, we don't.
So
Yeah. This is an AMA, so it's ask me anything. Ask us any questions.
is that AUA? I guess. Ask us anything.
But AMA sounds nicer, right?
It does.
So let's just keep it to AMA. I don't know if he's famous.
Well, infamous. That's
Infamous, yeah. You could fit into his ego now. I'm pretty sure he's listening. He very shook now. He feels very regarded now.
I'm quite sure he's tuned.
Is he a Singaporean? Yes, he is a
Okay.
Singaporean.
I was gonna follow
because we are based in Singapore naturally, so he's a
Yes.
Singaporean. But if you are asking me about his lineage, I will say that he is very Singapore. He is very much like Wayne. What are you, Wayne?
handsome. I mean, he's all right, but I'm handsome, so yes. He's of mixed descent.
Yep.
Let's leave it at
Actually, I'm also of mixed
that. I
descent.
mean, you're also of mixed descent, but
We are all mixed.
Yeah, so why did you point to me? You're also of mixed
But
descent.
you're more mixed than me.
I haven't done like a genealogy check or anything. For all you know, you might be way more mixed.
Yeah, for all you know, you're just Chinese.
Yeah, I could be. Hey, you heard me pronounce ni hao.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm terrible at languages.
Yeah. Could the horror content be a reference to the show tease on Longgang Kitty's collab? Yes, one of them. So we appeared. I'll set up posts again. You see, I got like a backlog of things to do. I'm sorry, guys.
Carl's a very busy man.
Yes, I am.
Yes, he is.
So, could the horror content be a reference to the show teased in Longgang Kitty's collab on their channel? Yes, we appeared as guests on, I guess, like including Ghost Talk 3 podcasts now. If you know that there are any other podcasters that want us on their show, we are more than happy to talk to them about
I'm
Ghost.
doing the maths. Drunken Ramblings,
Younger Ramblings?
Longagitis,
Ghost Talk. 3?
Yes, 3. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dennis listens to our podcast while preparing for bed. Oh, that's very therapeutic.
See? A lot of people love listening to us before they go to bed. I don't know why. I can't even write the scripts.
We
at night.
should start like reaching out to like pillow brands.
Yeah.
Write this down, Wayne.
you know,
Write this down.
No, yeah. Because like, you know, so far, like in terms of people that we've worked with, like in terms of brands that we've enjoyed partnering with and we feel like really fit what, you know, Ghost Maps and HANTU wants to do. Like these mics, that Audio Technica mics.
Yeah.
You know, and they've been like absolutely wonderful and integral in the growth of Ghost Maps. But yeah, pillow brands.
Yes.
Mattresses?
Silly Posturepedic.
I
I don't know. I just saw the ad and I just randomly
hang on. We
whack a
might,
name.
we might not be thinking of this too broadly. How about like, you know, there's the companies that like produce like lavender scented candles,
Also, essential oil,
essential oils,
pillows, blankets,
scented candles.
scented candles. I don't know, like pajamas.
Ghost Maps pajamas.
Yeah. Ghost
So
Maps
you know
pajamas.
when we said we were going to talk about the future of Ghost Maps, well there you go. Ghost Maps pajamas.
No lah, like yeah, we're just thinking out
You
loud.
put them on and then you can hear our narrator's voice.
So Gil Chong said that he listens before he or she listens before
See,
sleep.
I'm telling you, man, there's like tons of people that listen to us before they go to bed. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know. I can't see that. I do listen to Ghost Maps for QC when I'm exercising or like cooking, right? So yeah, I do listen to them, but I don't. Maybe it's my own podcast. That's why I don't do that. So it's just weird to listen to your own podcast and sleep.
I
also never really listen to any horror podcast before I sleep. I can't.
No, man. No,
But I do read Reddit horror threads
like I think
just for fun. Then I will fall asleep.
I think the only thing I've done where
Yeah.
you know it's horror themed before I go to bed was and I'm gonna do this as like a segue to the next thing I want to talk about also is I think I've read Offman Walk's work before I go to bed. But also Offman Walk's stuff isn't like, you know, nightmare inducing kind of stuff. It's like horror, but it's like, you know, you're not gonna go,
Atmospheric.
yeah, well that's the thing. Cause like
Feeling.
I brought this up elsewhere. I was talking I was on a panel with Ng Yisheng, who is the editor of Offman Walk's the most recent release. It's a kind of a greatest hits of Offman Walk's stories. It's called A Mosque in the Jungle, published by Epigram Books. And you know, I brought this up before, and I think I might have brought it up on there as well.
You did, yeah.
Where it's a case of like, you know, there's a certain way that I think it's different for every culture, like, you know, whether it's Malaysia or Thailand or
Right.
Philippines and all that. When you tell your ghost stories in Singapore, there's a certain way you tell the ghost stories.
Right.
And I've said before that, you know, we tried to emulate that way that people talk and when they tell the ghost stories. It was only after reading A Moss in Jungle that I realized that the way people talk and tell their stories in Singapore is very similar to the way Offman Walk used to write his ghost stories in the first place. So unintentionally, like, you know, this year I found out where Ghost Maps ancestors come from, and that's Offman Walk.
Basically,
Yeah. But also, like we've pointed out before, Russell Lee was an influence on the subtitle for Ghost Maps, right? True Southeast Asian.
true Southeast Asian horror story.
Yes, correct. Yes. So if you're wondering about the DNA of ghost maps, a little bit here, a little bit there, but we can definitely point to Russell Lee and Off My Mock. How long? Oh, we've got more AMAs. AMA questions. I don't know how you would describe.
Ask me anything, right?
Ask me anything, but like the questions themselves, do they have like a special name? And ask me anything.
Questions, I guess.
Yeah. AMAQs. We have more AMAQs.
So Dennis is either Lost in Malaysia is a very good listener or he has an inside track on you guys. I think it's a mix of both.
I think he's a good guesser, but if he has an inside track, well, I certainly don't know.
Yeah,
about
we
it.
don't know about it. Maybe he knows someone, I guess.
Why is this place bugged?
Yeah, maybe he is not human.
Dun dun dun.
No, that was mean. You are human.
Yes.
Yeah. Paranormal podcast. Hi guys, sent you a message on Facebook. Hope we can get. Yes, we've seen it. As you could tell, we are busy with our celebrations. We will get back to you shortly. Yeah. We are very active in working with other, paranormal podcasts, if they reach out and stuff, and we just love horror so just spread the horror love, guys. Yeah,
that sounds like a call to murder, but sure.
Get the narrator on for 2 years. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers, then we talk. I mean, it's not the first time someone has asked this, right?
10,000?
It's a great idea, but I think 10,000 subscribers, right, is a much more challenging, because 2 years is just time, right?
Okay. 10,000 subscribers where?
YouTube. Yeah.
All right. You heard it. You heard it here first. When we hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, we will not reveal who he is.
But we will bring him on the show.
Well, he'll be on a show. He'll be on an episode of Dead Air.
He'll be on the show for sure. I can promise you that.
Because we
promise you that.
Yeah. We figured out like after the last regular episode of Dead Air where we had Teddy from A Briefcase podcast, we figured out how to hide somebody's identity while still having them on the show.
I hope so.
Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Unless he spoils it for himself.
Well, yeah.
Then that's too bad.
Yeah, then hey man, we tried.
But we don't know if he's a spirit or not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We'll certainly have some spirited conversations.
Nice.
I know.
So
I've used that pun so many times.
yeah.
Tissue. You can tell this is live. I'm asking for tissue and everything.
Yeah.
Are we getting tissue brands as sponsors as well?
I hope so.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. So add pillows to your dude. Like,
Do we have pillows in the red bubble? I don't think we do, right?
I think we can.
We can, but
Yeah.
currently we don't have. I know we have tote bags and masks.
Yeah. We can
So,
look into
yeah.
that. Yeah. But if you want to support us, right? No, let me just do this.
Are you gonna you gonna post the right, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this.
I'll let Carl type this up, but if you want subscribers, hey, look, we clearly have merch. We're on Redbubble, and I will do the I want to see what you're doing. I will do the call to action later on. Right? I can tell you where you can get that stuff. No pillows just yet, but if you want face masks, if you want tote bags, if you want t-shirts, still got those. Is it there?
Yeah.
Hey, well done. Hey, I love how I'm yelling into the microphone now and making all of you deaf just because I saw a scrolling banner on our video.
Wait, let me see this.
I believe the word is swaku, so yes, that's me.
Yeah.
Did we get the right pitch?
No. This is embarrassing.
Yeah. No. Don't worry, we'll do the call to action later on. That's fine. Hang on. So, Kyle,
Yes.
I have to ask you.
Yes.
It's been 2 years.
Yes.
How has Ghost Maps changed your life?
Wow. This is a loaded one. I forgot.
I'm sorry, that was not the response I was actually expecting, but that's definitely a good response. Wow.
I mean, wait.
I can start. Like, for instance, I did not have this many people complimenting my hair before. That's definitely changed. No, I will give a serious answer. Because I've had this conversation with Carl before, where it's
Yeah.
I honestly feel like I've become a better writer because of Ghost Maps, because
Yeah. For those who don't know, Wayne is actually a published writer based in Singapore.
I am. It's true. I've even started work on, like, I say started work, but like I'm knee deep in work with an artist, Benjamin Chi, on a book right now, and it is
Horror.
You know, it does have elements of the supernatural.
Okay, it's not horror.
And horror lah. But I don't think I would have had the confidence to write this if not for Ghost Maps. And I don't think I would have had the confidence to not just to write horror, but like just to write something that's, I feel, bigger in scope than a lot of things I've done before, because of Ghost Maps. Because we do this, like twice every month. There's an episode twice every month, and that's more regular than I've ever written before in terms of like fiction, in terms of
Right.
narrative stories. So Ghost Maps has I don't want to say forced, but Ghost Maps has encouraged me to write far more regularly, and I think I'm a much better writer because of it. So I've given my answer, Carl, and it's very sappy and very lovely.
So I need to address this.
Oh my goodness.
You have a stalker,
I have a stalker?
and it's for a good cause. Lost in Malaysia says that he will pre-order Work-Life Balance because he knows that
How do you know that's...
it's your second book with Benjamin Chi,
Wow.
and the last one you did was Mr. Memphis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call that stalker. I'm genuinely touched.
Thanks for the support.
But yes, it'll be out sometime next year, sometime in 2020.
Yeah. Anything with supernatural elements is always cool.
Yes. But yeah, no,
We will don't worry, we will sell the shit out of this book when it comes out.
I love how you always tell our guests not to swear, but then you're always one of the first ones to...
It's just one. It's one.
That's always how it starts. And I don't mind, because I'm not the one that eventually will, like, if we're editing this for like Spotify and all that, I'm not the one that has the
I know.
reworkers.
I know.
So
Yeah.
thanks, Carl. No, yes. No, don't trigger this. How has it changed you? How has it?
It's really given me I guess like a knowing. Like initially when we started, I really didn't expect like the reception to be that big, right? People messaging us, telling us that you help me cope with school, you help me cope with the lockdown and stuff. We really didn't expect. It's just a need for us to just tell the stories because we love it. And then when that realization came, and I think it was about close to 1 year when we started, then I knew that there's greater purpose for Ghost Maps, to basically not just entertain, to give a sort of a community for all like-minded folks like yourself, right? I don't like to call you guys fans. I like to call you guys as fellow horror lovers, because I feel like it's much more than that. It's really much more than that. What unites us is the love for horror, the love for horror podcasts, especially, right? Sharing that one weird thing that we have, which is to listen to horror podcasts before we sleep, or for most of you lah, with the exception of me. Yeah, so I think that really has changed my perception on creating content, because I'm a filmmaker. I make a lot of social media content. I create a lot of ads, a lot of TVCs, commercials. A lot of them, they are just for the means of selling something, but they pay the bills, right? But they don't really like impact a community so hard.
Yeah,
which I'm quite touched lah. So thank you guys for supporting us for 2 years.
Yeah,
and hopefully you stay for the rest of the ride.
It's gonna be a long ride.
This is a super long ride.
Yeah. No, I mean, just to add on to that also, like I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I've had people prior to Ghost Maps tell me that stuff that I've written had affected them. And it's a wonderful feeling. And it's a wonderful feeling that always feels brand new every single time.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
It is a wonderful feeling. I mean, even though some feedbacks you gave us to improve the podcast, we also take that.
Yeah.
We also take that back, and then we also look at that as a whole.
I know that's the
we love the whole two-way approach.
Yeah.
To things.
No, but even just I mean, neither of us will ever do it. But hearing that so many people listen to us before they go to bed, it's very.
Yeah.
You might not see it as sweet because when you're listening to it, you're like, oh, ghost stories.
Yeah.
But we love hearing stuff like that because it means that we've become a part of your life.
Yeah.
In a very small way, but still.
In a very small way, yeah.
And it never gets old hearing people seeing people messages and saying like, no, we really love this episode.
Yeah.
Or we were looking forward.
Wayne is asking for more, if that's.
No,
if you're trying to decipher the message.
The compliments, go on, bring it on. No, but it's a wonderful feeling, and I just
It's
like
really,
in case we don't make it clear enough, we really appreciate
it.
the support that you guys have shown us over the last 2 years.
And tangents, not really but
Yeah,
speaking of making Ghost Maps, right? Ghost Maps is actually made in this room for the past 6 months. This is my own home studio, recorded and edited here. This very room. So so you could sense the narrator's, I guess, by presence.
His aura.
His aura. So it's recorded, edited here.
He might have farted in this room, so maybe that's what.
Probably, but ghosts can fart, meh?
No, well, assuming the narrator is a ghost.
Yeah. So this is a great question. How long does the process take to record one Ghostman story from when you talk to the confessor to editing to do the voice recording and uploading to YouTube? Or you'll be surprised how long it takes. I think I can answer that because it's basically the full production cycle.
Yeah.
So usually if it's a confessor, and if the person is local, we probably meet up and we probably record, and then I need to set the context first, and then we will probably go and script it, and we will run through a few drafts, and then we'll go into production where we record, and then post-production, and then scheduling. I think that takes about 3 to 4 weeks. It's very long. Yeah. So we always plan way ahead. So right now we probably at because we are now at 45, episode 45, right?
Yeah.
We already planned to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, small detail, but usually we do about 2 episodes per recording session. So there's a bit of overall 1 episode takes about 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, right? But
the whole production cycle. Yeah.
But there's a little bit of overlap with other episodes. So because we record at least 2 episodes. 2 to 3 lah. Yeah, at least 2 or 3 episodes per session. So, so it's usually around there, but probably
Yeah, but if you're asking for specific, right, WSA, to record the one episode itself is about, because our narrator is a very seasoned spirit, 2 hours for 1 episode. Yeah. So Wayne and I will be just there, and then sometimes we change words on the fly.
Yeah.
This has more feeling, and that's one part only for the for the making the podcast. The other part of the podcast is when I'm in post production and editing it. Either I'm working with an editor or I'm editing it myself, right? That's where I add a lot more things to it. I add more depth, like sound, effects, music. I choose the right music, Yeah. So those are, I guess that's my therapy. It's really fun, very interesting to listen to it on a never level.
I think also to add on to that, also not so much in terms of how long it takes, but since we're talking about recording the episodes as well, I don't think we give him enough credit for this, but there's a lot of, at least once every episode or once every 2 episodes, because my background as a writer is not for audio. My background is I write books, I write comics. I used to be full-time in advertising, so that's my background. I've never, prior to Ghost Maps is my first major podcast that I've worked on, and so I'm not used to writing for audio, and what happens is that when we're recording, our narrator will sometimes go, hey, this doesn't sound right when I say it out loud. How about we switch it to this? And then, most of the time I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So there's a lot of, if there's certain lines, because I've already talked about like how Kyle gives his feedback and that makes the scripts better, but even down to like minor things like a word or a turn of phrase, our narrator goes, hey, doesn't sound right when I read it out loud. How about I do it this way? And so we change it on the fly as well. That's why each episode takes about 2 hours, because as we're recording, we do multiple takes, and we edit stuff as we're recording, because when we're hearing it, like in his voice for the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I don't think we give him enough credit for that. Where it's like I said, the lines start to blur where each of our roles are, and a lot of the times the scripts are improved not just by Kyle but also the narrator himself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The ghost.
yeah.
So Lost in Malaysia is saying like if we were to get the narrator on after 10,000 subs, right, for that special, would it be the similar setup to Teddy? Probably not.
Well,
you won't expect it. I would say like I do have some thoughts on how to do it.
Also,
in my mind.
Teddy brought for us booze. The narrator never brought for us booze at all.
The boost is very important. Thanks,
Yeah.
Teddy, if you're watching. Yeah.
We love our narrator. We've
So-
never asked him to bring booze before.
So Ned, sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly. I really enjoy the recent podcast with Ghost Talk hosts. Yeah, I really enjoy talking to them. I may have more stories. There may be a second partnership again. I guess collaboration again. I will let you guys know. There are more, and as you could see, like there's someone who actually reached out to us already just now.
Yes.
So we have a lot of things in the pipeline, which is quite exciting. Yeah. So they were suggesting
at least one thing that we'll talk about. What were they suggesting?
No, they were suggesting Lost in Malaysia was suggesting to Winnie Choi pocong plushie or like a pillow to spark to dude. If you can find that, I will buy it and I'll put it on the Dead Air Show and I'll bring it. If you can find, link it to me. I will buy it. If not, maybe there's a possible business idea for us.
Why you love making things extra creepy for me?
Why? It's just a cute.
It's
a cute pocong like plushie. It's a plushie. What is a plushie gonna do to you? Start flying?
Have you never seen Child's Play?
But Child's Play, right, is made of plastic.
Oh, that's the issue.
That's
the
the difference.
material.
No.
Okay.
You what? How is a plushie gonna kill you? It's what? It's gonna like. I guess it could kill
Suffocate you?
Yeah, but like, I doubt so. It's so soft.
I mean, you die comfortable lah.
Yeah lah.
But,
you die comfortable lah.
Again, seriously, if y'all actually thought we'll get through one episode of Dead Air without tangents,
We
really
got
us very
a
well.
lot of tangent. Yeah. Pre-order work-life balance. Yeah, we'll definitely pimp it lah.
We'll let you know once the pre-orders come out, but
Yeah.
it's only gonna be like next year.
Yeah.
No, how has it changed our lives? Okay, we got that covered. This one, the controversial question.
What?
Well, I say controversial. Have there been stories that we can't tell?
Okay, this is one of the questions that is for Kyle. Yes, I'm gonna answer yes with a very straight yes. I've seen okay, this happened last year. Okay, so I've always been, I can't say always, but I've been agnostic for the greater part of my life. Agnostic means that you're like a free thinker, but like you don't believe in any religion, but you respect and you know that there's a higher power, but you just don't know what higher power it is. Yeah, you know there's a man in the cloud, but you don't know which one it is. You also don't really care, and you respect.
You don't know which man or which cloud.
I whatever, right? Okay. Whichever it is. So and I've already been making ghost maps. So you would think that I'm quite okay to seeing creepy stuff. So I've seen like a supernatural thing happen right in front of my eyes, and there's nothing that I can do, right? I'm not going to go into specific because I cannot talk about it because it's so personal to that person, and it may do harm to that person because that entity is still out there. Apparently, according to the master. So yeah, that's one of the stories that I cannot say. And there are a couple more that is very personal to me as well. Happened to my loved ones. That is pretty much that I can confirm is real. That I will never talk about it because for all we know that the entity could still be out there. And talking about it might attract it.
Yeah.
So you see, like then you may ask like, also then, but you guys are okay with telling other people. So you see, those stories right are far enough for us to tell it. And when we take the stories and then we do the writing and we do the conversion, right? It becomes a different, and there is far enough that there is always loss in translation. So that loss in translation kind of protects both us and as well as the people who told us the story.
Yeah.
So that is the difference, right? So in short, it's like if stories that are too close or too personal for that person, or you have seen it, better not to. We actually talked about this with on one of the very first episode where we were on our good friends at the Drunken Ramblings podcast, and Ernie, one of the main hosts, he actually talked about one really, really creepy experience that involved death. And I told him that he might want to consider cutting that out because that is really, and it was fresh, it was like a couple of years back, and someone actually died, and that it pretty much was a supernatural entity that caused it. So and then he removed it because it's too unexplainable already, like this kind of thing. So yeah, that's where we draw the line.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I've mentioned this before, but I've got like one or two stories that it's not one of those things where it's so personal I have to draw the line, but it's one of those things where it's so personal that I feel like, I need to find the right format to tell it in. And because it's so personal for me, like I need it to be told very almost exactly how it happened. And that's just not what we do on Ghost Maps. What we do on Ghost Maps is we'll take the stories and they'll form like the foundation and then
modify.
Modify. Yes, like we're building cars.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but that's the Ghost Maps is not just us retelling stories. It's us taking those stories and then creating new stories out of what we had. Carl's so emotional right now. He had to leave the room to cry. So bless him. He's so sensitive. But that's for me, like where I think, and he'll back me up on this again also, but there were a couple of, the wonderful thing is that we've had listeners from all around, and they've been, I thought he was going out to cry, he just went to go get more drinks. No, we had listeners from all around the world, and I think we've had people on episodes of Dead Air where they're like from California and stuff like that, and it's always a wonderful surprise. But we've had people submit stories from outside the Southeast Asian region, and our focus is very much specifically in Southeast Asia.
Yep.
So we haven't included those stories just because it's right now we're still as the t-shirt says, Southeast Asian horror stories.
Yes.
So that's why we didn't include them. Some of them were, and we won't say where, but we got some stories from certain regions that were going through. They were going through some form of upheaval at the time, and we felt like it wouldn't be right to tell those stories at that time. Yeah. Eventually, if
eventually we will.
Yeah, not if enough time passes.
Because
as enough time passes. Yeah.
These are all entertainment, right?
Yes.
And stories will never ever be more important than real people.
Thank you. Yes, 100%. So as much as we want to tell these stories, I think what's important is that we try to be sensitive to people who are going through tough times, or countries that are going through tough times, or groups that are going through tough times, and we make sure that the stories don't take away from what's going on with them. So we've had to put a few stories on the back burner for just for those reasons. Yeah. But for me, it's any stories that I have are very personal, and I'm just trying to figure out what's the best format for it. I know most of them. You know all of them. What are you talking about? You know all of them. Don't pretend like you know all of the stories I've told you.
Right.
This is literally how me and Carl bonded, telling each other our ghost stories.
Basically that. Yeah. So let's get to some of the comment.
Yes.
Lost in Malaysia. I really like that you are like giving like really cool references that
Oh, dude, yeah.
where we are werewolves, not swearwolves. I totally get that.
What We Do in the Shadows, I think new season just started.
Yes. What We Do in the Shadows is actually a mockumentary film by Taika Waititi.
Yes.
Taika Waititi was the director for Thor 3 Ragnarok, which is possibly the greatest and the only version of Thor that exists in the MCU. Sorry. So it's really, really funny. So it's basically a fake documentary about a bunch of vampires that's living in New Zealand. And then it got picked up by a network, and then they made it into
FX,
it made it into a series. If you have Disney Plus, please watch it. It's really, really funny.
Well, if you have Disney Plus here, I guess. First of all, Disney Plus, if you want to sponsor the show,
We gotta pay the bills, guys.
We
have to pay the bills,
we'll
guys.
happily get some of that Disney money, man. No, but yeah, I think it's on Disney Plus here. I don't know whether it's on Disney Plus everywhere.
I think everywhere.
No, because like apparently American Disney Plus is different from.
Okay lah.
They've got it's on some other network in America, but they do have it.
Yeah, but anyway, like What We Do in the Shadows, either the film version or the TV version, they are super funny.
Oh yeah.
So watch them. If you like horror and you like vampires being human and stupid,
Yes.
I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, not to like, be a segue master and everything, but that's the thing. Like, I know people have we've talked about this before, but also at the same time, like, these stories are as much about the people as they are about the the hantu that we feature as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's because a lot of the stories that we get, and it's just the way people tell stories where it's anecdotal. And they're like, oh, this happened, and then I saw this, and then like and that's the way we tell stories to each other, because not everybody's like going, oh yeah, well, we have to have like a 3x structure to it. No, that's just annoying writers like me. But that's what we try to do with the stories, and a lot of the time when we take the inspiration from the story, it's not just the creatures or the spirits that we're featuring, it's the human emotion that's involved in it, and the humanity that's involved in it. So yeah,
The survivors lah.
yeah, and not the shamelessly segue from us talking about What We Do in the Shadows back to what we do, but that's I just wanted to bring that up. I mean, it's second anniversary of Ghost Map, so let's talk a little bit about that.
Yep,
Yeah,
definitely. He says that you said that werewolves not swearwolves was from episode 1 of Dead Air, and he says that a lot of info came from episode 1 of Dead Air.
I don't remember.
I
that
agree.
at all.
That was before I moved my whole studio setup back here from the studio. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Okay, so let's answer some
Yes.
AMA questions.
AMAQ.
AMAQ, I guess. John Francis Frederick
Malape?
Malape. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. I don't know if I asked you before, but where were the locations you filmed? The settings for your YouTube video, e.g., coffee shop, the school, the HDB. Okay, I need to address this.
Hang on. I just want to be clear. We're not laughing at your question. We're laughing at what a coward I am.
Yes.
But yes, let's carry on.
Yes, because every single time I call this bugger to join me to film the visuals, he'll say nope.
Yeah, no, literally that's what I'll say. It's not, no, Carl, I will not do this.
like,
Or,
nope.
How are you insane? No, it's nope. Have fun. No, it's reached a point in time where Carl just stops asking me.
Yeah, I stopped. So actually they because we're based in Singapore, so we film in Singapore. I had plans to do it in regionally, because I travel a bit for work, so I could do it at night in other countries in Southeast Asia, and then the world just right. Yeah. So it is what it is. But I do that. I'm not stupid, so I bring a friend who is very, very religious, strong spiritually, very, very strong. Shout out to RQ, shout out to YC, my camera woman. So I bring them out, and then we go to haunted locations, or locations I feel that ties to the story that is creepy to film. But as you could tell, like some of the visuals has been reused because of the pandemic, and to be honest, I'm a bit of a coward now.
Well, at least it took you 2 years to become a coward. I was a coward from the start.
No, like somebody told me something and I was quite creepy. I was quite creeped out lah. But I'm gonna get back to it, and of also like life got in the way, because you must understand that to do one of these visual filming, right, it takes a lot of coordination. First, I need to get that guy, and I need to get another person, or I could do it myself. Then we need to set off at night. And most of the locations are in places that in the day would be either very packed or like there is traffic. So you want to get a still creepy visuals, right? You need to go at night, like usually after 10, and that's late. And then not saying that Singapore is big, but it takes a while to travel to all these remote locations. In a good night, we could probably film 4 locations, which is not a lot.
No, I'm not laughing. I was like, not say Singapore very big, but it takes a while to travel those locations. Like, our friends were across the region. We get like, haha, last in Indonesian, Malaysian, Philippines.
Yeah. So then it takes time. And I'm glad that somebody appreciates the visuals, because we put in a lot of effort for it. And then the last thing is that because we are not stupid, so after filming all this, got a lot of hantu, right? Because most of the time the places that we go is very, very haunted. There are instances that we could feel there's things there, so we need to go to a mamak. Like mamak is basically a 24/7 cafe slash Indian Muslim food. There is available in Indonesia. Almost everywhere
around the region.
Almost everywhere in the region.
Southeast Asia, all countries have some.
We will go there to makan roti prata or supper, or to drink teh tarik, just to cleanse ourselves, to make sure that nothing follows us. And then we have this joke where we say that a lot of people like to go, all these haunted places at night, and then they will go to Mama to have supper, right? The Mama place will have fuck ton of ghosts. Like, I need to swear to actually to get across the point. Like, there will be so much ghosts, because all the ghosts will follow all the people that go out at night, and then they will go to Mama to end their night. Then all the ghosts will be there, and then there's like a story there.
I don't know whether it's because you saw my reaction the moment you said bleep tan, but like it's either that or like the connection we have where you're like, I have to swear. I was like, yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get back to the groove. I'm also thinking of new places to film, because to be honest, Singapore, there's not many places to film lah. So I'm trying to think of new places to film for the visuals. So look out for that lah.
I mean, like, the jump in there as well. Also, of course, I don't go to these places.
I'm gonna make him go, and he says that you said that you're gonna go.
No, I will.
Yeah.
As soon as our social media hits 10,000 followers.
Oh, no, that's different.
No. YouTube, we've already established. YouTube 10,000 subscribers will get the narrator on the show. Correct? We said nothing about social media. So when we get 10,000 followers...
Wait, before you say that, I feel like we need to up one level. Remember last episode, I said that I want to do a dead air episode in a cemetery. Right?
Hang on. Before we continue, now it's my turn to be son of a bitch.
If we hit 10,000 followers on either Instagram or Facebook, right? So you must know the precedent. YouTube, if you hit 10,000, we get the narrator on the show. Okay? That's settled. Instagram or Facebook, if we get 10,000, this bugger is coming along with me to a cemetery to film for the visuals. Not only that, we're going to do a dead air episode live from the cemetery.
Are we going to do it from the cemetery, or should we do it from the mama after?
No, the cemetery.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Don't worry. I will get you protection. Trust me. I know people who are spiritually strong.
Yeah, but I'm a coward.
No, it's okay. It will be okay. I can assure you, at least on set there will be 6 people.
Okay.
Including you and I. It won't be just the 2 of us. It will be There will be people, right?
Oh,
if you see more than 6, then I'm sorry. I cannot help you.
It's slightly less romantic now, I guess. But okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
10,000
Okay. Wait, so just to be clear.
Yes.
10,000 subscribers on YouTube and we get the narrator on Dead Air. 10,000 followers on Facebook or Instagram, or 10,000 followers on one of those.
Either one.
Either one.
Yeah. Then, yeah.
Okay.
On
So, okay, just to be clear, either one, that doesn't mean you can combine the numbers of like Facebook and Instagram, okay?
yeah, either one.
10,000.
Yeah. So make that happen, guys. I really want to do dead air in the cemetery with Win.
Come on.
Because no Win, no dead air, right?
Oh, is that going to be our hashtag to promote this? Okay.
Yeah. So okay.
Wait, hang on. No.
Wait.
Just before we go back, I do actually also want to say that
Sure.
you know, for all my cowardice and not following Carl to film the visuals, I genuinely appreciate the visuals that we have and Carl for going out to get them, because
Thanks.
I don't know, like everybody consumes ghost maps differently. And for me, like Carl said, when we listen to it, it's our podcast, so it's like, you know, we're not listening to it because like, hey, you know, new episodes out. We listen to it for QC, and when I listen to the episodes, for me, it's always on YouTube because I like having those visuals. I
Thanks.
feel like they add something to.
It's almost like something gonna pop out, right?
Well, I hope not.
No. I mean, I checked through the footages. I've really checked through the footages to see nothing weird happens. Even for the old Changi Hospital footages that we shot, nothing. Just to be sure, because the old Changi Hospital for our fans that are not in Singapore, our listeners that are not in Singapore, Old Changi Hospital is one of the most haunted places in fact the most haunted place in Singapore, because it was a prisoner of war camp during the World War II. They had a lot of demonic rituals that were done after it was abandoned, and I guess the feng shui of the place wasn't great, I guess, so that's why there were a lot of supernatural accounts. And speaking of which, see my tangent,
Very nice.
Old Changi Hospital, there was a film that was done like the Blair Witch Project, and the 13th of October is approaching us. In 2 weeks' time, we managed to secure the director of Haunted Changi, of the Hungry Ghost Month documentary, as well as After Images film, Tony Kern, the director, who is an American based in Singapore, film director, and just like a person that is working in the media industry. We've secured him, and we have an announcement post for that day air episode. But he's of someone who is very interesting to talk about Southeast Asian horror, because I really like his work. I really like that he made a feature film about the Hungry Ghost Month.
Yeah,
I watch it almost every year. So and of course he made 2 horror features after that. And yeah, I think it's gonna be super interesting to talk to him.
I mean, it just like, you know, yeah, we're celebrating the 2nd anniversary of Ghost Maps at this point in time, but also like, you know, since this is an episode of Dead Air, and Dead Air, you know, started as almost an extension of Ghost Maps as well. I think Tony Kern's name was one of the first names we threw out.
Oh yeah,
talking about like
for me.
Well, okay.
I was I told Wayne I need to get him on the show.
I think his name came out as like a wish list kind of.
Oh
name.
my god, I'm so thankful.
Just look at him now; it's adorable. He's fanboying out. It's so cute. Yeah. No, but his name was on a wish list for our guest for Dead Air. We're really happy that we managed to get
and at the very top, not drawing comparison, but it's just in terms of, you know, wish list, Wayne and I have, it's Russell Lee. So Russell Lee, we're still waiting.
Yep.
Everyone at Ghost Maps who listens to Ghost Maps is still waiting.
Hey, we've proven that we can have you on the show without showing your face. Okay.
Yeah. So you can ask Daddy.
You can bring your mask and everything. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, we're waiting.
So I'm so sorry, but I can't pronounce your name, so I'm not gonna even try. So I'm gonna just call you Rana.
Yep.
I love your podcast. To be specific, what makes your podcast different? For me, it is how atmospheric they are. It is really immersive with all the background music and great ASMR worthy stuff. Narration. Thank you very much. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Exactly what we envisioned for Ghost Maps. And I'm glad that you actually managed to get that from our podcast. And I'm really thankful. The ASMR thing was not really intentional. It wasn't really intentional. I knew, because of my technical background, I knew what it would have sounded like if I recorded it in a certain way. But I didn't expect it to have that ASMR quality, which was nice, you know, like, so it's really nice that people keep telling us that it has an ASMR feel. Maybe one day we'll do an ASMR channel that is non-horror. Who knows?
I'm sure we can think of a really suitable pun for an ASMR horror themed channel. Just give us
up.
No, we can do much better than that. Much better.
Okay.
But yeah, the ASMR, I like for him maybe it was planned and everything. For me, it's like whoa. Okay.
WSA says that, do you guys always tell the confessor which Ghostman episode that is about their story? I can't say that because we try our best to reply to everyone.
Yeah.
But it's really hard because we get a lot of email.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. I'm sorry if we missed out any of your emails. We will try because we always do a double take. So if we miss out, we'll probably find out after a week or month or so. Then we're going to reply you.
Yeah.
So please be patient. There is really a lot of email, and we do have day jobs, so this takes a while for us to actually reply.
I think also we've had at least one person who's just flat out didn't want their name on the episode. Also.
Yeah.
Like they contributed stories, but then they were like, just don't put my name on
No,
it.
which we will respect, right?
Yeah, of course.
But if we can, and we will try to tell them.
Yeah.
Because we are always making, we are always making episodes. But we will revisit, sometimes this episode is actually contributed by someone, a fan that is, or listener that is not within our own social circle.
Yeah.
Then we will try to find out who this was. Yeah. Nice to see you, Adam Aldos Smith's Mitch. Hi guys, sorry I came so late, damn it. I hope I didn't miss anything very juicy as in Ghost Story. No, you didn't.
No, it was mostly at the start us pitching to Tiger Beer to be our sponsor, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Like the scariest thing about the start of the episode was how shameless we were.
We are shameless. Period.
We still are.
Yeah, Tiger,
yes, okay,
please,
fair enough.
like giving you like your 30 seconds, but if you get us, I will throw in me to direct a free TVC for you. No, I'm just joking.
I guess you could say that the 30 seconds that Carl shows Tiger on the screen is Tiger time.
No, I really love Tiger.
I can't believe
I
you
used-
enjoy that pun that I just made. I'm hurt, Carl.
What? Sorry?
What I said was the 30 seconds where you're showing the can on the screen. I guess you could call that Tiger time.
Wow.
you.
That's nice. I didn't catch that, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do contemporary Singaporeans, Malaysians still view their countries as very supernatural places?
I think okay, I can't speak for Malaysia. For me, I feel like it's not as much as it used to be, but you still have a lot of people like I'm not a young person. Carl is relatively still a young person. And we do know people who are younger than us that still view Singapore as like a supernatural place in that sense where it's filled with all these ghost stories and everything like that. And I think that a sizable amount of Singaporeans certainly do. I think that there are more people who don't see Singapore as like, a place where all these stories are happening. They see Singapore as like, a very modern city with like, big glass buildings and stuff like that. And I guess it just changes with the times. It's still an aspect that Kyle and I work very hard to do our part to kind of keep going. But I mean, it's still inevitable that a lot of people will just, not really either not be aware or just not really focus on that aspect of it. But I think the split is a little bit more even nowadays.
Yeah.
But that's me. So
I completely agree with you. But I just want to add one fact that we've actually had this thing a lot. We have talked about this a lot in terms of like, if we were to put per square inch, Singapore is probably the most haunted places because it has the most death per square inch because it sustained World War II and it's just small in nature.
Yeah.
So are we supernatural? I would say view the countries as supernatural. Yes, Singapore. I can't speak for Malaysia.
Yeah.
But I can say Singapore very much so because even for non-Chinese our non-Chinese friends in Singapore, they also respect the rules of Hungry Ghost Month. Don't step on the incense paper. When there's someone who call you at night, don't turn. Just general respect. And I think it's a beautiful thing that is, you
Yeah.
know, a secular country. And I could say that of Malaysia as well, because they are also kind of secular, right? Of course, they have a different majority race. We also have a different majority race. But there is still some similarity in terms of that. And the one of the things that I've researched and which is very interesting is that outside of China, the last few countries that are actually practicing Hungry Ghost Month is actually Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan. Even for Taiwan, I've been there during, you know, it's not that much as well. But Hong Kong is also losing that. I literally been to Hong Kong at Hungry Ghost Month, and I was like just waiting for something to happen. I was just walking around with my then girlfriend. I was just walking around, and then I was like looking at the streets. There's not many people burning, and this is not the 90s Hong Kong horror film that I was promised of when I watched the Hong Kong film. There's no ghosts. There's no creepy auntie that's burning the incense and looking up at you with creepy faces. No. So I guess times are changing, but somehow Singaporeans and I would say like Malaysians are actually still having that tradition.
Yeah.
And I guess it's not out of like really like just pure belief. It's also history. I think it's beautiful, like that we are preserving this somehow.
Yeah, I think it's history. I think it's culture as well. I mean, like we keep saying this over and over again, but I never get tired of saying it. Where it's a case of it's not like religion or spirituality that drives me and Kyle to do this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that love of
Yeah.
that aspect of our culture, and like that's, you know, it doesn't really. I feel like it doesn't matter whether you are a spiritual person or what your religious belief is. Like what Kyle was saying, I grew up in a religion that didn't believe in the Hungry Ghost Month, and yet at the same time, my mom was like, "Oh, don't come back too late during Hungry Ghost Month, okay? Make sure you don't step on the thing." But like for her, it wasn't a religious thing; it was a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So
Cultural. Yeah, cultural ties really well with religion as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's beautiful to see all that understanding and all that, you know, respect given around and the history.
Yes.
That if there is one day where I see that happening, you know, like Singapore just stop Hungry Ghost Month, I'll be very depressed.
I don't think that I not in our lifetime. I
don't know.
Maybe I'm
very hard
optimistic.
you're optimistic, but I'll be very, very depressed. Not because I'm a firm believer of the Hungry Ghost Month. It's just like I feel like, oh, there's another part of our culture that's gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but thanks for asking that. That's a really good question, right?
Yeah.
Dennis is saying that one thing that he likes about the podcast is the use of the monoblock chairs and the small tables. Gives the episode a very, very down to earth feel. No jump scares, no irritating creepy graphics. Thank you. Thank
Thank you for noticing.
thank you for that. I noted on the creepy graphics, even though that we have been trying to change our thumbnails because our artist is actually working hard for us to make new thumbnails.
Yeah.
If that is irritating, please let us know. We can tweak accordingly.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, I think also the graphics is one thing. What no pun intended, but what I jump at here specifically is the jump scares thing. And don't get me wrong, like for certain horror films, I guess it does work. I like how you're like moving away. It's like, I see you want to say something about jump scares.
No. I was just like shifting in my chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but for me, it's like, yeah, jump scares, I guess they work for like certain kind of stories.
Yeah.
But I think what we wanted to show also for us is that, you know, horror isn't just jump scares.
It's not.
Horror isn't just.
It's much
one
more.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. As a filmmaker, I think I can attest to that even more. As a filmmaker, I feel like horror is an amalgamation of all the genres.
Yeah.
Every single genre. There's drama.
Yeah.
There's always fighting. For some reason. Then there's the part of thriller where there's always the chase. You know, there's something that's very fast, that's high upbeat, that's happening. Then there's comedy to some sense because black humor, right? Like you see people getting killed, and it's kind of funny, like because they no in the
Depends
film,
on the movie, lah. Yeah.
in the film, right? Like there's always some like really, really obnoxious person that will open, haunted house, then open the door, then gonna kill. And it's really dumb, right? As the audience, you find it kind of funny, and there will always be romance. There will always be love, because you know why? Because love will always beat evil.
That is way sweeter than I thought you were
That
gonna
is
get.
like the most hippie shit that I would say.
Yeah.
But it is true, right? So
No, but yeah.
an amalgamation of all genres. And as a genre, I wouldn't say I'm a genre filmmaker, but as a filmmaker who has touched different genres, I feel like that is actually a pure encapsulation of what we see lah.
No, I definitely agree with that, and I hope that it's come across in Ghost Maps as well, because we've tried to do episodes where, it's a little bit more funny. We've, like, somebody pointed out, and I think we were talking about it as well, like how in the last part of our Hungry Ghost Month series this year, it was a bit more. We tried to build out a bit more empathy for the spirit itself. And we try to do all these things, and there are going to be some episodes which are a bit more like intense, and there are going to be some episodes which are a bit more thoughtful in that sense. So we tried to get that across in Ghost Maps as well, where it's not just one type of horror story, and we try to show how wide-ranging the horror genre is. And this is coming from a guy, like I said, what you might have missed at the start of the episode when we kicked off is that prior to Ghost Maps, I didn't write horror stories. I didn't think I was capable of writing horror stories.
And yet you did.
Yeah. and I've just going back to the question that we ask each other, like how Ghost Maps has changed your life. I think something I didn't get across also is that I've been invited like at least 2 or 3 different panels, and Kyle probably has been invited to a lot more, where they're asking, but it feels weird for me because like suddenly you're like, hey Wayne, could you come down here and talk about ghosts? I was like, me? Okay.
Yeah.
Then
So in short, right, now right, Ghostmax has changed us to people that in our own circle, people are like, these are the 2 that like to tell ghost stories. They like to bother people to ask people ghost stories. Every time, and I swear, every time I walk into a room, someone will be like, hey Kyle, got ghost story or not?
But that's
this place haunted or not? Can you see ghosts? Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, jeez, dude, I'm just telling horror story. And I'm happy that people do that.
Yeah.
But I get weirded out sometimes also.
No, but that's like I can't believe it weirds you out, because I feel like that's a little bit more on brand for you.
It is on brand, but like it's still weird.
Like, okay, this is a little bit of an anecdote, so I don't think Wesley will mind me telling this story, but like, Wesley who tunes in pretty much every episode, and I'm sure he listens to every episode of Ghost Maps as well. He's a fellow author, and I went for a signing for one of his books. I Want to Go Home, and I'd never met Wesley prior to this, but Carl told me that he knows Wesley, and so I went up to Wesley and said, hey, I'm a friend of Carl's, and he's like, oh, Carl, yeah. And I told him like, oh yeah, I'm working with Carl on a project, and Wesley just without missing a beat, just looks at me and goes, horror, right? I was like, yes, yeah. Yep. I kind of figured you would have guessed that. Yes,
I have the horror face, I guess.
Yeah,
making horror.
That sounds horrible. It makes you sound like a monster. Like, I have the horror face, but like for Kyle, it's like it's kind of on brand for him. But for me, every time somebody goes, hey, can you tell us about ghosts? I'll be like, me? He's like, yeah, you do a podcast. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's another way that it's changed my life.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
And I must add on to what Danny said about the chairs and the small tables, right?
Yeah.
I really like their visuals. It was some like a little bit of backdrop to the image. The for those who are just tuning, the main image when you always see for the first time when the new episode plays, right? That one with the table and the closed coffee shop. I really like that, and it was really near my old studio. And this was shot in, and this is how old it is. It's shot about close to 3 years ago. It's a very big size coffee shop, and we shot it at 12 a.m. at night, and it was actually quite crowded lah. There were people. It was an industrial estate, so there were people around, like just hanging out. So I just filmed that scene, and it was really creepy, not in the way that you think it was, because there were a lot of cockroaches. So we shot there for like half an hour, and like wow, the cockroaches, there were a lot of them. So
I mean that's creepy.
But I love the image. Yeah, I really like the image so much that I kept it. I don't think it's very easily replaceable, but I will try to find.
No, I like it's one of my favorite things, because like it's exactly like what you were saying, where it grounds the story, and it really it not just grounds it, but I think it ends it very well, and it kind of gives that familiarity whenever you come into an episode as well. So yeah.
John says that the mamaks are heaven sent.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. When you find a mamak that gives you like the kind of food that like just the choice, the really choice roti canai or like your favorite kind of noodles. Oh my god. It's like an extension of your family.
No, the teh tarik hit you, right? It's like when I used to go for a lot of night walks.
Yeah.
So and sometimes I go alone, right? Then I will walk to a certain area that is super dark. Then you will see like bright lights at far, then you can hear people. Then that's when you know there's a mamak. And then you're like, oh, I'm safe, mamak. And for Taoist belief, or for generally Chinese, right? If you're talking about energy, when there's more humans, there's yang energy, human energy. When there's lack of human, is negative, which is yin, which is spirit energy. So when you go to a place, mamak, the only place that's open 24/7, of course there's a lot of people. So you get that energy and then you don't feel scared anymore. So I feel like that is a really, really great place. And you just gave me an idea for a short film, which I'm gonna like just let it boil in my head and see whether if we can make a short film.
I think we'll save talk about short films for a bit later on.
No, let's just talk about it right now.
Shall we talk about it right now?
Yeah, let's just talk about it
All
right now.
Okay. I was
talking about short films. Content lost in Malaysia, you said content, right? When we talk about content, for those who are tuning in, we are sharing about content. Because We Are HANTU is a media company that specializes in doing horror content for Southeast Asia. Content meaning film, TV, video, podcasts,
yes,
even books, right?
Yeah, and Ghost
Maps is one of them, right?
Ghost Maps, I think, has been the spine of
the forerunner,
of this company. But Carl and I, when we started, we always had we always envisioned doing more than just Ghost Maps. So yeah, I guess I feel like Carl, you should be the one to say this.
No, you said it.
Me say it? Okay. Yeah. I don't know how many of y'all know about Cinebalu. Cinebalu is the Kota Kinabalu Film Festival. And I'm just gonna make sure I get the dates right. 15 and 16, is it correct?
Yes.
On the 15th and 16th of October.
Which is this month?
This month, yes. You can go online to Cinebalu, and we'll post the link.
Yeah.
And you can watch the first short film
that we ever made
together. So from the creators of Ghost Maps, we have a short film called Closing Time, and it will be part of the Kota Kinabalu Film Festival.
Yeah.
So for a very limited time, you can watch that.
There is a lot of entities in that film.
Yes.
And there is a twist that you... Okay. Sorry.
Let me watch it.
Okay. But there is a twist. Okay? So our very first short film, Closing Time, that Wayne wrote and I directed with a whole other bunch of 20 other people that worked on the film really hard. And we shot it in one night.
Yeah.
One night.
So it's a short film.
One night, not in a mama. What do you call it?
Convenience store.
Yeah,
Minimart?
a minimart, but mama in the minimart. A mama in minimart.
Mini mama.
Yeah, mini mama.
It's a minimart. It's a convenience store.
It's a convenience shop. So we shot it one night. So
Yes.
from 9 p.m. we shot till 6 a.m. We completed the film in one night. In production with involving 20 people.
Yes.
And this was last year during COVID.
Yeah.
And we are really proud of that film.
Yes.
And it got official selection for Kota Kinabalu. So for our Malaysian friends,
I think for everybody, I think everybody can watch it online.
of course, everybody can watch it, but
thank you to
Extras-
our Malaysian friends.
extra special to our Malaysian friends for supporting us.
Yeah.
But the film, we will release it on YouTube at a certain point. But right now, because the film is traveling in the festival circuit, it's trying to get into more festivals.
Yes.
So that we look more legit.
I don't know what you're talking about. We look legit right now with our tiger beer and our.
So that
Schweppes.
the films can be watched by more festivals and get into more festivals, so more people can watch it.
Yes.
Then we will release it, and we might have a special data episode for that as well.
I think
There's
we might, yeah.
a lot of stories while making that film. Yeah,
Yes. So yeah, for once we'll have a dead air episode where we're not talking about Ghost Maps,
talking about something else.
something about else.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll make an actual announcement on our social media as well. But yeah, you guys are the first to know that we will have a short film out, and it's from the two of us.
Yeah. So John says that Filipinos have a similar practice called papak. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Once you visit a wake/vigil for the dead, don't go home immediately, or else the spirit will follow you.
I think we have something similar to that.
Yeah.
I don't know how official it is.
It's different. Okay, so I need to address this. There is a similarity for all Asians.
Yeah.
I can be safe to say that nobody will go home immediately because people see the dead as dirty, negative energy, whatever, right? The jujus. So they will go somewhere else before they go home. That is shared across all Asians.
Yep.
For Mandarin, for Chinese people, the one that I know is when you go to a wake, you actually you sit on the the tables, when you're just like chatting with the family of the deceased. Usually the wake will be held in a funeral parlor, or in Singapore, usually underneath a public housing, because most Singaporeans stay in public housing apartments, basically apartments lah. So the funeral will be it's very uniquely Singapore. So there will be red strings for you to tie on your finger, the index finger, so that it will protect you from any negative energy. And then when you leave the wake, you're supposed to throw it at just a midpoint towards your house. So like just before you reach your house, like 50% of the journey, and then just throw it randomly into the dustbin or whatever. So that red string will like attract any negative energy or any spirits. Because according to the Chinese tradition, funerals tend to attract other spirits. And there is ghost corpse there as well to guard the other spirits or guard that spirit that is of the deceased. So it attracts more stuff. So it's to protect you. And if you're further paranoid about the supernatural, the Chinese people would actually have certain plants, herbs. They are real herbs, right? Actual just herbs. I don't know what's the name of the scientific name of that herb, but that particular herb is actually good against evil spirits. So when you go to a wake, you have to wash yourself with that particular herb. My grandmother used to force me to do it when I go to like cemeteries to pray to my ancestors. She said that it will cleanse me, or I fall down during 7 months because apparently I offended spirits, whatever, right? So that herb does exist. It's just a normal herb, right? It's just that it has spiritual holy power.
I also like how the herb could was a very nice way for your grandmother to not point out how clumsy you are. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodness, we have a lot of comments.
We
Yeah.
we do. And I want to know like what's the actual John, I want to know what's the actual translation to pak pak. If you could share with me, that would be great, because I want to learn about it. So let's address some more comments. Another about 100 places. Man. Adam Aldo Smith Mitch is asking, Carl, when you go to haunted places at night to take photos or videos, has any ghosty ghost followed you back? Doesn't make it less scary, okay?
No.
Or haven't you had it yet? Thank you for doing the background piece for your YouTube, guys. Okay.
Wait, hang on. Before you get any further into this, I just want to say, yet. No, never.
Okay, so no. The answer is no. No ghost has followed me back home yet, because I'm not stupid. I don't go alone. I always go with people who are spiritually strong. Always do that, guys. If you want to go to places or you want to do urban exploration, which I don't condone because I've done it before and spirits has followed me home before, don't do it. Don't go to haunted locations alone. And don't go without protection, right? Even though you're not religious. Get at least one person, one friend that is super garang, that is super religious or has some form of spiritual power to protect you so that nothing follows you home. Because even if you're not afraid, think about it. It could hurt your family, your loved ones, people that you care about. You don't need to hurt you. It just thinks like a human, right? Oh, you're not scared, right? Okay, I'm going to hurt someone you care about. Then, so it's always to be careful. Now I like this comment, like, because she saw it at the back, right? At the back, at the corner there. Right? So we need choice saying, possible hack, put holy water in your humidifier. Yeah. What makes you think that is not holy water?
I love how you always have the what makes you think. Ah.
I gotta be on brand, man.
you yeah, very content creator, very influencer kind of
Yeah. So Rana, it says that since you two delve in the world of horror, what is your take on true crime stories and detective genre? You want to take this? I mean, you take this first,
Yeah, I'll take it first. I love consuming it in the sense where I like watching like detective shows and everything. In terms of true crime, I'm, aside from shout out to Teddy. Aside from Teddy, for a Briefcase podcast, I listen only a little bit to true crime stuff, and I watch a little bit of true crime documentaries. I think, I don't delve as deeply into it as a lot of other people do.
Yeah.
Like my partner loves watching quite a lot of true crime stuff, and like we've got friends who really love true crime stuff as well. But like, I don't. Well, I see where you could draw the connection, but I think for us, there's a. I mean, yes, obviously there's a clear difference, but I don't see it as related to horror.
Yeah.
Or at least the kind of horror that we do.
Yeah.
As much as maybe some other kinds of horror, I guess. No, so for me, it's like I like watching or listening to the stuff, but that's about as far as I'll take it. Yeah.
Because horror is. I was joking on the previous episode with. We were joking on previous episode with Teddy.
We're joking in every episode. What are you talking about?
Teddy, our previous guest. She is the podcaster behind Briefcase podcast, which I feel like is very, very underrated, and I do listen to it.
Yeah.
It's about basically mostly Singaporean cases
Yeah.
of murder, and she dissects it, and then she actually does a lot of research on it for the true crimes. I feel like what I said to her, I think it was me, that I said, basically we are what's after your podcast, because you talk about the true crime, right? Someone murdered, right? Then we talk about the ghost.
So if we could have like a podcast schedule, it'd be like, 10 o'clock, listen to a Briefcase podcast. 11 o'clock, hey, it's Ghost Maps.
Listen to what the ghost will avenge, how the ghost will avenge his own death after the true crime podcast.
See, going by that theory, it almost feels like prior to how it should go is, right, if you wanted to schedule your podcast listening, what you would need is a podcast on parenting, because that's the start of life. And then the episode following that might be like a financial podcast, because then you're going through like your day-to-day thing. Then after that, the murders. Then after that, the afterlife.
Yeah, but I mean, in all seriousness, we did have, after 1 year, we did have a lot of requests for us to do true crime.
Yeah.
My stance, this is my personal stance, and I'm not blaming anybody who's doing true crime for that.
Yeah.
I do not, and ultimately we do want to make this a career, right?
Yeah.
I do not want to make a career out of creating content that has that someone has perished from. Yeah. That is my poor personal belief. I don't think it's wrong for someone to do that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want to do it. I can do it, but I don't want to do it.
I think it's not that we can't do it. I think it takes a certain sensitivity and a certain, I won't say light touch, but like a certain sense of empathy.
Yeah, I won't say that people who do true crime podcasts, they are horrible people. No. Yeah. There's a reason that they are actually the most popular genre in the world, right? Some of the top podcasts in the world, they are actually true crime podcasts.
Yeah.
So they are doing something right. But personally, I don't want to do that. Because horror is that there's a fine line, right?
Yeah.
There is no proof as per se that the supernatural exists.
Yeah.
Right? There is some sense of this could be fake.
Yeah.
Right? This could be you just overthinking it, and we just blowing it out of proportion and making a whole horror podcast about it. Nobody got hurt. Nobody died, right?
Yeah. I think to take that a step further, so when you look at true crime podcasts, it's very much about, specific people and specific people in a very, I mean, it's called true crime, but in a very real sense.
Yep.
for us, this goes back to our belief in terms of what we feel, what we love about the horror genre, and for us, it's it's a cultural thing more than it is a very personal thing. So, yeah, could we make a true crime podcast?
Probably.
Maybe. I can't speak. Carl maybe can, but for me, I don't know whether I have it in me to be able to do
Yeah.
justice to a true crime podcast.
Yep.
So I think that's why we haven't.
And we won't
Yeah, we haven't, and we won't
until
go into.
I mean, as of now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But horror, hell yes. Yeah.
Was
But that was a really good question.
Was that supposed to be a pun? Hell yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I just trying to.
Oh
study
no,
it.
no, it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah. So not sure if this was asked before. How did you both get to know each other and decided to form We Are HANTU and got all We Are HANTU together, including narrator? Wow. No, it's not asked before WSA.
No,
this
it
is a
isn't.
fresh question.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I think I do.
Okay, I'll let you. I'll let you have a shot.
Like,
at it.
just without boring you with the exact details. Basically, we had like friends in common.
Yep.
The first time Carl saw me was at one of our friends' birthday parties, and she got hammered and then like threw up a little bit on me. So that was Carl's first impression of me. Then from there we just, because we had those mutual friends, like all of us started hanging out together. We all started talking, and that's when Carl and I discovered that hey, we kind of have this connection where we both really love the old tradition of orally telling ghost stories. I can't remember how we decided to form We Are HANTU. Like I know at some point, obviously we had the conversation about it. But I really can't remember how the conversation got started in the first place.
Okay, so like we had a couple of ideas to work on because he's a writer and I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I mainly direct.
Yeah.
So it's an obvious match, right? We wanted to work on a couple of TV series together, or at least pitches.
Yeah.
With another friend, Paul. And it came to a horror series that we were talking about, and they were like, actually, we should do that. Then we were just thinking about it, right? Then I had this stupid idea, like, hey, you want to do horror podcast or not? And then it just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Like, it's a blur to me how we went from A1 to horror podcast to like...
it is a blur to
then
me
we
as
did.
well. We just did it. Like, and we did it at a time where the podcast was already exploding.
Yeah.
And
Still young, I guess. But
no, exploding already. 2019 was exploding.
Okay.
It just that we hit the right thing, and I guess we were kind of lucky also because there wasn't any horror Southeast Asian horror podcast that's in English.
Yes.
That
specifically narrative.
podcast at that narrative at that point. Yeah. So we were the first. So we got lucky lah. Yeah. So
I do remember where we were, and I do, because initially, I know at least one person has asked whether I am the narrator, and if you can't tell by now, obviously I am not the narrator.
Yeah, he's not.
This is not a voice made for ASMR. But I don't know whether you remember this. Initially, we were trying to see whether I could be the narrator.
Yeah.
And it just
we tried.
Nothing. There was something a little bit off about it.
We did tests as well.
Yeah.
There was actual thought process, and there was sort of a casting.
Yeah.
To it, and then
I failed the casting.
And then we found the
I
spirit.
failed my own casting. So
then we went to the cemetery. We just found the spirit lah.
Yes.
We found the spirit of the narrator. And
No.
we just revived him.
Yeah. The first I do definitely still remember the first time I heard his voice, which sounds so romantic.
Yeah.
No, but the first time Carl played for me, because the narrator did a read of I think it was the first episode we ever
First
did.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so he did like a test read of the first episode before we officially recorded it, and I heard his voice, and like immediately was like, that's him.
Yeah.
That's our
he
narrator.
immediately replied and said,
Like
perfect.
there was no like
there was no.
maybe
Yeah,
if
it
he
was
changed. No, it was him, and
we were lucky lah.
yeah, we were very lucky. And because it's the second year also, I think we have to give more props to him in the sense where Carl and I talk about this all the time, but like if you listen to Ghost Maps from the start all the way to the current episode, you can see how he was already the perfect fit for the narrator.
Yeah.
and somehow he actually managed to get even more comfortable.
He grew into it even more.
Yeah. To the point,
yeah,
to the point in time where the narrator was our creation at first, and it doesn't feel right to call him just our creation now because it's very much inclusive of the narrator as well.
And I must say, like, Ghost Maps would have taken in a very, very different format. I have to give credit to where credit is due, like how he is doing it right now for the narrator. As much as we are the creators of Ghost Map, the narrator really plays an important part in terms of bringing the stories alive, right?
Alive.
Yeah. Then when I wanted to start, I wanted to just do purely. I just wanted a copy. I wanted to like just be lazy and then just take stories from Reddit and give them credit, but then just read it whole, fix the grammar, read it wholesale. But Win was like, no. We had a back and forth about this, and Win was like, we need to do it proper narrative. And he thought that was it. And that's like the whole dynamic of partnership is a give and take.
Yes.
I couldn't really see it, but I was like, okay, maybe he's onto something. Yeah. So I believed in him. I said, okay, let's do it. And then we did it. And then we did one test episode. That was the pilot. And then I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Let's do this. He's right. And then let's go. And I mean, as much as we are horror podcasters, but it's also quite educational. And I see that some of you are quite young. And it's also an advice to you guys, like, you know, sometimes in life, what you think of may not be right. Someone might come along and tell you, hey, this, you need to change this, you know, like, and never say never. I think, you know, if I not listen to what Wayne said that day, Ghostman will probably be shit.
I like how you're the one giving the fatherly advice and I'm the one now here sitting with all the grey hair on my face.
What grey hair?
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet for lying to me like this.
Yeah. So that is how
that's our long-winded origin story.
Very long-winded.
Yeah.
So Christopher Lowe, may I ask a random question? Yes, you may. For We Are Host Ghost Story, do we segregate the real and fake stories? No, there are no fake. They are all real.
No, I mean, like, I wonder what he's asking. You know, how do we decide which one sounds a bit more authentic? I guess
I can't tell you the actual.
Yeah, it's a bit.
You just know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. This is not the best and most scientific answer, but like, it's one of those things where you look at the stories.
Okay, you can't. I think I can answer this.
Okay, go.
Those that are fake, they will try too hard to sound like Ghost Maps.
Well, okay.
Very, very hard. No, like.
Yes, okay. Very hard, yes.
They will actually help us write the script.
Yeah.
Even before we write the script. And there's a bit too much details.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like, you can't have too much details, but at the same time, you can't have no details.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there has to be a correspondence between us and the person who's submitting the stories. Then we'll know that, okay, maybe this person is for real.
I think, okay, going with that point also, see, I said we couldn't answer the question, but then now suddenly we're answering the question. I also, like, picking up on what Kyle said, specifically the thing about the details, and I've noticed that, like I said, we take the stories, and the stories that people submit usually come in the form of anecdotes. They're not like, you know, oh, we'll structure it this way so that there's character development,
right?
And then here's how the story will flow, and then we have a pacing issue. It's none of that. Like, you know, you're telling because you're talking to a person, and it's not like, you know, you're telling a narrative. You're just giving an anecdote of something that happened to you. You know, you don't think about like specific details like that, and that's where we come in, where, you know, we'll go, oh, how did this make you feel? And all that. So
anecdotes.
It always starts with not as much detail as we might need, or maybe just enough detail that we can like extrapolate from there. But usually when there's too much detail, it feels
fake.
Fake maybe, but also a bit too like, oh, I want an episode of Ghost Maps. I'm not saying like, you know, people are like banging down our doors like, oh, put me in an episode. But like, sometimes it just feels like, hey, put me in an episode, man. And I was like, okay, we see what you're doing. And yeah, so, I mean, it's not like we're judging now, like, yes, fake, real. Most of them, honestly, they're good stories. So I think that's what we connect with. But sometimes you kind of get the sense like, yeah, they're itching to get an episode of Ghost Webs. It's a very nice feeling, but yeah, they're clearly itching for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah, basically he answered it correctly. Shannon Sutesh is asking, hey guys, Tiger beer forever. They're not guys, just me.
Yeah, just him.
Yeah, just me. I love Tiger. I love it.
This entire episode is to celebrate the second year anniversary of Ghost Maps and really just to pitch Tiger Beer to sponsor the podcast.
Oh, Chin, that is totally a photo of you. Congrats on the 2 years. Thank you very much, Chin.
Hi, Chin. Thank you, Chin.
Thanks. All the best. More stories and kopi to come.
Oh, yes.
You will never see me, maybe on a different podcast, not horror, right? Or I appear as a guest for some other podcast that is not horror. Maybe then you will see me drinking coffee, or I'm working hard on a Ghost Maps episode. But usually when I'm on dead air, I'll drink liquid courage as well as
because clearly Carl,
just an excuse.
I mean, clearly Carl's a very shy person. So
Clearly.
we both are.
So Dennis is also adding on to his point earlier about the wait, let me see. What did he say?
Was it Dennis? I think it was John that said something about the.
Oh yeah, it was John.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did he say about the
It's similar practice. I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's called pak pak.
Bapak, yeah. Also in Philippines, my acquaintance would drop by a fast food restaurant or local 7-Eleven to prevent visitors to coming to your house. Yeah. This is my first time hearing like you guys go that far into protecting yourself. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's quite interesting. I think for the Chinese is just after a funeral, or visiting a cemetery or any haunted places lah.
Yeah.
But on a daily basis, probably not, because most of the Chinese in Singapore they are spiritual. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Jolene is asking why the narrator don't drink beer in the stories.
Because he's drinking beer off camera.
The narrator don't need to have spirits. He is a spirit.
I mean, technically beer's not a spirit, but I see where you're going. No, we got something on there. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's always drinking like kopi. I think it's just because I don't know. I think I was drinking a lot of coffee at the time, so that's probably why.
Perry said, "Happy 2 years."
Thank you.
Thank you. Probably won't get it, but yeah.
You also notice the narrator smokes a lot more in the first few episodes than he does later on. That's also because people always wonder how much does a writer put of themselves in the story. Yeah, so I was drinking a lot of coffee when we started writing Ghost Maps, and that's kind of stayed there. The narrator has quit smoking roughly around the same time that I quit smoking. So there you go.
So I'm gonna just flash out like the link.
Oh, Carl, look at this interesting comment that we've got here.
Closing time. Yep.
Yes.
Please support us.
Once again, for those of you all just tuning in, the very first short film by the creators of Ghost Maps.
Yeah, very first.
We will do a proper social media post.
And we will do a proper screening with it once we are done with the festival run.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else we got?
Gil Chong said, "Yeah, don't review too much." Yeah, we won't review too much of the short film.
Oh, the short film. You nearly did. You're like, oh well, there's this. No,
there is a twist.
Stop saying there's a twist.
Every film has a twist. What are you talking about? Right? A film is a twist itself. Yeah.
I like to believe that this is actually part of the marketing where we keep saying there's a twist. Everybody's like, oh, we have to see what the twist is now.
Yeah, Lost in Malaysia said that we are HANTU creeping our way into Malaysia. What are you talking about? We have always been in Malaysia. In your heart. Oh yeah.
So, I was waiting for that. Yeah.
Shades of M Night.
We're probably more M evening lah. At best lah.
I'll say M supper. Because of the mama.
Oh yeah, M supper's good.
M supper. Apparently Paris is expert. Put garlic in your. She's probably talking about the whole like funeral thing. Put garlic in your pocket. Throw away after you go off. Why you not throw away like proper garlic? You could like make aglio olio from that. Yeah. Jolene is right. Pomelo leaves. Pomelo leaves are actually they're good to ward off spirit in Chinese world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Or like Chin said that 四流叶 or pomegranate plant. Yeah.
I'm gonna steal a joke.
What if you plant? I just had a thought. What if you plant if you're a sick sadist bastard and you just want to see spirits like suffer, and you plant like a bunch of those around the cemetery like a fence, so the spirit cannot go out.
I'm gonna take a completely different tangent on that and steal a joke that a friend of mine once said. Did you know that pomegranate is the most explosive fruit in the world?
Why?
Pomegranate.
Yeah. That joke was quite explosive.
It's a terrible joke, and I'm very sorry.
So-
I think that scared more people than anything else.
John said papa means to dust off, brush away the
Okay.
dead. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Yeah, so Avnish said it's my birthday and these guys choose this special day. Yeah, we totally did it for you, Avnish.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you,
Happy
man.
birthday. 2 years ago when we decided to start Ghost Maps, we're like, when's Afnish's birthday? Is it now? Yeah, okay, let's do this now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Avnish is asking us to please read it slow. Why did we choose We Are Hantu, this specific name, and also why Ghost Maps? Okay, I will answer for the We Are Hantu and the Ghost Maps. I'll let him answer.
Yeah.
We Are Hantu. Actually, our company name is called Hantu. Hantu means ghost in Bahasa Melayu, right? For our friends that don't
I don't know
the
whether it's
language.
also I don't know whether it's also Bahasa Indonesia, but Bahasa Melayu I know for sure.
I think so. Hantu means ghost, right? I literally the day that we incorporated the company, I had a call from basically the department where you incorporate companies, and then called me, sir, are you sure that you didn't have a typo when you were registering company? Then I'm like, no, Hantu, right? HANTU. It's like, yeah, the Malay word for ghost lah. And he's like, oh, okay. So I could hear her like trying not to laugh, but I also could hear her judging me for that one like 1 second. And then she's like, thank you so much. And she put down the phone.
I like to believe that she's been a loyal listener since the start.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So why We Are Hantu, right? Because I think it's easier for us to remember, for people to remember that, at We Are Hantu. It's easy to, and I don't think at Hantu is available.
Yeah.
But if we can get it, we will try.
Yeah.
So I think We Are Hantu is the name that we're sticking forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just so you want to know.
I think we kind of evolved from there because I think Hantu was our initial name, and then
Yes.
I think more people know us now as We Are Hantu than
Yes.
just Hantu.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
At We Are Hantu. Yeah.
As for the specific name of Ghost Maps, the in-story name is that because each episode deals with specific locations, and we wanted it to be about specific locations, and it's also part of the narrator's kind of story where, he charts all these stories in specific locations, where there's like certain neighborhoods in Singapore, certain cities in Malaysia or Indonesia or something like that. We wanted it to be very location focused. I think that was there before the name even came up. The somewhat boring but actual true story behind the specific name Ghost Maps has nothing to do with it has to do with the stories, but like how it came up to me was there's a song called Ghost Nets by Mogwai.
I remember this.
You remember this, right? There's a song by Ghost Nets called Ghost Nets by Mogwai, and when we were coming up with the names, like both of us went off and like tried to figure out a couple of names, and then when I heard that, I was like, oh, I really love the song. I was like, what's it called? Ghost Nets. I was like, sounds like Ghost Maps. So okay lah. So it fit perfectly into what we were planning to do, and that's where the name Ghost Maps came from. It was inspired by a Mogwai song, but also inspired by the stories that we wanted to tell.
Like we mapping out the Southeast Asia lah.
Exactly,
That's why when you hear the first like episode entry 45, then you hear the name of the location and the country. That's the whole point of Ghost Maps.
Yeah.
We also want people to have any real places to have attachment, or like an experience. Don't you feel that after you listen to a certain story and then it's somewhere near you and then you walk past that place, don't you feel the extra creeps to that?
I think it also, I mean, like going back to what we were saying about how like the stories are as much about the people as they are about the creatures and the spirits. I think they're also about the places themselves. And I think the locations kind of, the locations are kind of like a supporting character to it.
Yeah. Some episodes more so than others.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. So, and I also feel like the locations kind of inform the tone of a lot of the stories as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So that's why it's Ghost Maps. That's why we are HANTU.
Yeah. Thanks for that question.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't think anybody's ever asked us that before.
Okay, maybe you want to read this.
Please read slow. There is more than 1K subscribers, but why only 13 people are watching?
Because we are on brand.
Was it like this that you made 1K Gmail ID and then subscribed to it? No, we did not do that.
I wish we had the patience to do that. That would be super cool.
Man, even if we didn't have day jobs, I certainly don't have the patience to do that. There's a joke my brother always tells, oh, you'll be a terrible doctor because you've got no patience. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, we'll be terrible doctors. We don't have the patience to do
By
that.
the way, speaking of numbers, right? 1,000 subscribers is untrue. We have 1,850 subscribers. So that's 850 more for you.
So that's what you were doing. That's what you literally. He was like typing something. I was like, I wasn't paying attention to what he was typing, but apparently that's what he was doing, checking out our subscriber count.
But that's only on the YouTube side because you're watching on Facebook and YouTube. I'm very happy to say after 2 years, we have hit for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other podcast platforms. Drum roll.
Wait, how did the drum roll? You announce the number.
1 million downloads for our podcast. So we may not have the numbers on YouTube and Facebook. As much as we want to have for you, Facebook and YouTube, and we are spending a lot of effort as you can tell, because this is, you can't get this on Spotify. There's no Spotify Live, right?
Hang on.
So 1 million for Spotify and Apple Podcasts combined.
Look, I think it's time we reveal the truth. The reason why we don't have those numbers on YouTube is because that we were waiting for somebody to challenge us to bring the narrator on to dead air.
Yes,
and you guys have done it. So now we will work to having more subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's all because of you guys.
Yeah, so
and this weird need to see who the narrator is.
I don't know how. I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't, because you guys are supporting us on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you guys don't listen to it on Spotify, but if you guys do, thank you. But do know that you're part of the bigger community. Spotify, our followers on Spotify is 50,000.
Yeah.
Monthly followers. The listeners is somewhere about 100,000 a month currently, but 1 million all time, which we are very, very proud.
It's about as weird as finding out that we've been doing this for 2 years.
Yes.
So it's just very strange. But 1 million people listening, that's a great platform for Tiger Beer to advertise.
Tiger Beer. Yeah.
WSA's question is interesting.
Yeah. Is the narrator someone who auditioned when looking for a voice talent? Or he happens to be... Let me answer this.
I know what you're going to answer. Just go ahead.
Or he happens to be someone both of you knew and just tried to ask out.
Go on, Kyle.
The answer is both. I know what you're trying to do, WSA. And I'm just going to say both. And it's true. Right, Wayne? It's true, right?
Wait. Okay.
It is both.
Well, it's both. I think the only thing that's not accurate is that both of us knew him.
No. I knew him.
Kyle knew him.
And he's someone that I auditioned.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Just leave you to that. You go and find.
It's worth pointing out that, I can't remember what the number of people who auditioned was. But I think that's a testament to how perfect our narrator is for this, because I really can't remember who else auditioned. I'm quite sure we did have other people auditioning, but he was the one where I immediately went, yeah, he's our guy. So yeah,
Yeah.
he passed that audition with flying colors. Yeah.
Have any one of you watched Ghost Stories, the anime series? I know of it, but I have not watched it. Sorry.
I'm very slow on catching up my TV. I'm literally only at season 3 of
Yeah,
Attack on Titan now. So
We are very slow.
yeah.
Yeah. Because we need to make more episodes for you guys.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You wrote more than 1K. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully that 1K right will turn to 10K, and then we'll get the narrator on the show.
And
of
then,
course, you can't see him.
Yeah.
And then we also turn our Instagram or Facebook to 10K, so that this bugger will go to the cemetery and do an episode of Dead Air with me. Oh, I'm waiting.
I'm not.
I'm really waiting for that episode, and I will be very happy to do that episode in the cemetery at, I don't know, like let's start at 9, right? As usual.
What?
All the way to 12.
Woo! How about 9 a.m.?
No. You made the promise, so you gotta do it.
I didn't say what time.
No. You have to do it some 9 people working, right?
I know.
Yeah. So yes, I'm just gonna put it up there. 1 million. Good job, guys.
Yay!
Thank you. Yeah, 1 million is couldn't have done it with you guys without you guys.
What was it? What's the exact term? Like specific downloads?
1 million downloads on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all platforms.
It's too long. 1 million downloads. Yeah, I've just aged myself, haven't I?
Yeah. It's surreal because when we open the dashboard for the the podcasting platform, it's just numbers.
Yeah, well, see, okay, let's be clear here. Kyle can can read the matrix. So when he opens it, like he's like Neo like that. When he opens it, he can see the numbers and can tell me what's going on. And I look at it, I'm like, I just see numbers, man.
Yeah, it's just numbers, but it's surreal when we interact with you guys, and we do enjoy it. That's why that's why Dyah is here, and then we are interacting right now, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
So yeah. Afnish says that no one listens on YouTube and everyone chooses Spotify. Oh no!
Like that's okay.
Okay
no,
lah,
to be
got
fair,
lah,
no,
got the
well,
review lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Like I totally understand why Spotify is the preference for people to listen to, because
No, I listen to more of my horror podcasts on Spotify. If I can't find them on YouTube, I do listen to podcasts on YouTube. Yeah, because they are they are YouTube exclusive. Which is very smart.
Yeah,
which we will never do to you guys.
I mean, like, okay, I swear I'm not trying to toot our own horn or anything, but like for me, the main reason why I listen to our podcast specifically on YouTube is because I want to look at the visuals.
Yeah.
Like I listen to it mostly like for QC and stuff like that, but when I do listen to it, it's also for the visuals as well. And no, I don't disagree. I think a lot of people prefer their podcast on Spotify, but I think for Ghost Maps, I'm really not saying this just to like pat Carl on the back and make his ego grow bigger, but like I think the visuals add a lot to the story. So for me, my personal preference is to listen and watch it on YouTube. Yeah.
Wow, thanks for the breakdown. Afnish added 25% success go to the narrator for his voice, because every podcast is judged by the voice of the speaker, and also the content. Thanks to Wayne and Carl. Wow, thanks.
I'd go so far as to give him 30% credit.
I mean, equal.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
I rather the number be 13.
That would
13
be
is
nice.
on brand for all
That
of us.
would be
13,
nice.
all of us, including the graphic designer, social media people, and sometimes editors, right?
Yeah.
It will be more than a million. Of course, it will be more than a million.
Oh, it will.
And this is just Ghostman's numbers, one podcast. So we haven't launched Dead Air on audio format yet, because we want to build a backlog, right?
Yeah.
This is not just to make it live stream and we have some interaction with you guys.
Yeah.
It's also to build a backlog, because we are thinking of Dead Air being a monthly thing, or at least a tri-weekly or bi-weekly thing, so that we have some backlog. Then we can actually release them when we are ready. So now we are almost 6 months 6 months if we release a monthly episode or backlog.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of planning that we go ahead. And then there's another new show that's coming at this end of the month. So
And
3 new shows.
That's
Definitely.
okay. That's the only one we're not gonna give you any details about just yet.
No.
Because we can't announce it. Just
You
yet.
have to wait, but it's horror and it's long.
Don't worry, we will announce it, and just to make sure that you guys know about it, we will do our usual sign off for this, where we'll tell you where you can subscribe.
So Lost in Radiation wouldn't be number 4.
See, that's what I was thinking.
No,
like-
dude. Number 4, I need to be inclusive, right? Even though I'm half Chinese, right? Number 4 is definitely a Chinese thing that is recognizable, right?
yeah.
But I feel 13 is more international.
Is it?
It is.
I mean,
13 is more international, what?
I don't know the origins of, like, why 13 is an unlucky
I don't
number,
know.
which is weird. I don't know why I've never.
Yeah,
done
no,
research into it,
but I feel like 13 is more and of course it's dead air.
yeah,
Every 13,
yeah,
every
yeah,
13,
okay,
you
fair
guys
enough.
know, every 13 9 p.m. GMT plus 8 time is dead air. So
Except
you
for
can-
except for bonus episodes like today.
yeah, like today. Today is a
Yeah.
surprise. Not really lah,
Oh,
but
it's not a surprise. Like, we did announce this quite a while back.
yeah.
It was a surprise when we announced it. Yeah.
But we are see ghost stories, not international gun.
Yeah, he's got.
I like
he's got
how
one.
he like added a gun point.
Yeah.
Very C. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a point. You've got a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Maybe we'll do another show with number 4 in mind.
well, okay. Look, we are Southeast Asian focused, but because we are Southeast Asian focused, we want people outside of the region also to listen
Yeah.
and to
Actually-
appreciate our culture.
Actually, we do have a lot of listeners recently of US from US, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, I think it was California that somebody in the last episode was saying that they're from, which always a weird thing for us, but always great also. 13 is more known because of the Friday the 13th movies. Is that what WSA was saying?
Yes.
This is not even my favorite slasher movie. That one.
He's gonna say his slasher movie happens on October only.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can you guess it?
Oh yeah.
Michael Myers.
Yeah, that's right. Austin Powers is my favorite slasher movie. Oh god, even that joke's kind of stolen from Baby Driver.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, favorite slasher movie is still Halloween. The original from John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dennis. Oh yeah, I know Dennis watches it on YouTube. It's like YouTube for me lah. I'm like, yeah, I always see him there. Nice. Yeah, in the lift, 13 is excluded from the pair. If someone is not knowing, they'll be like, what the hell happened on 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually been to like some countries in Europe, right, that really don't have number 13, right?
Yeah.
But I can count, right? I'm not stupid. So when I count, so number 14 is actually number 13. So you're trying to lie to me.
That's gonna be a pull-out quote from Carl Ong. I can count. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't try to lie to me. I'm that Asian dude, right? When I see a haunted house, I will walk the other way. I'm like, okay,
Hey, man.
no, bye.
Look, we've already established that Carl's the one that handles numbers better than I do. So
Yeah. Wow. It's nice to know that this guy really he stalked you.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, man.
It's nice to know that I know a fellow Eurasian who's into horror. Thanks, Mr. Winry.
I've known quite a few Eurasians who are into horror, actually. I don't know, I don't know if they're specifically into Southeast Asian horror, but I've known of. I'm not going to use the somewhat derogatory term that every Eurasian uses on our Eurasian, but Eurasians.
Thanks. Yeah. It's okay. He says that I'm honorary Eurasian.
No, to be fair, there's two of us that said you were honorary.
Yeah,
another
Eurasian
friend
said,
of ours.
that I'm honorary
Yeah,
Eurasian.
but that's only because we can't figure out your heritage.
Yeah, no, but he's right. Lost in Malaysia is right about something. Like, I don't really see that much Eurasian in horror. Maybe because there's not many of you. I don't know. Is that the case?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like we've got now especially. I don't think we have as many horror movies, in the Southeast. Well, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
in the Southeast Asian region, so even fewer Eurasians in those movies. So
Yeah. No lah, we're just joking. You're not stalking him.
no, yeah, because he doesn't have to stalk us because we're shameless. That's
Yeah,
why.
we're shameless.
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of shameless, it's almost 2 hours. It's 2 hours 30 minutes now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It's
See, this is what we mean by time flies.
2 hours and 30 minutes of shamelessness talking about our 2 years anniversary.
Talking about beer.
And talking about beer and sponsors. If you guys have any more questions, please drop them in before we wrap things up lah.
Yeah.
So that we can answer, because this is a rare chance for us to actually talk to the listeners directly. Because whenever we're on Dead Air, it's usually with guests.
Ooh. Okay. No. So
Yeah.
you know how AMA has asked me anything?
Yes.
I figured out how we can still use AMA for us. Ask Momo anything.
Ask Momo everything.
Yes.
So for our friends who don't know AMA usually it came from Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Ask me anything. So now he has changed. This fella has changed.
Yep.
And that's why he's the writer.
Take it, Reddit. Take that.
Ask Momo anything. Momo means ghost in...
I'm not
It's
sure.
a slang. It's a slang.
I think it's
in
a slang.
Mandarin.
Is it-
Chinese.
Okay.
Chinese. Momo means monster lah. Like
Yeah.
Momo. Yeah.
I hadn't heard the word Momo in the longest bloody time.
Yeah.
But it's seeped back into my consciousness thanks to our friend Mehan Boy, because
Yeah, Mehan. Our fourth guest.
yes, our fourth guest, because
Shout out to Mehan.
what a
My the camera woman that used to go to the horror to shoot horror visuals with me and RQ, right? She used to say Momo.
yeah.
Yeah. She's terrified of horror, but she's not scared.
I think the word Momo does help a little bit to ease.
Does it
because
make sense?
Well, yeah, because it's such a cute word.
No, as in like, does it make sense for someone who is terrified of horror?
Yeah.
She doesn't watch horror film.
Yeah.
She doesn't listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
She knows that she shot some of the visuals for us.
Yeah.
But she's not scared in the idea of going to haunted places. But she's scared of horror, which is fake.
What?
Fake.
Okay, that kind of does make sense to me.
Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, I get it. But like, you just treat the haunted place as fake lah.
That's a bit hard.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So Abdish said, we have to ask questions so that they don't end the stream fast. Therefore, what is the podcast that had taken your view, or you have a neck competition with them? Are you from that other podcast? Is that why you're asking us this question? I'm always the one who is like doing all the PR and stuff, right? Talking to other people, setting up most of the time.
Oh, no. Pretty much all the time, yeah.
I don't see other horror podcasters in Singapore or in the region as competition. Not because I look down on them. It's because I feel that we are part of a bigger community.
Yeah.
If that is always about how much listens you have more than me, how much subscribers you have more than me, if it's always about that, that's not healthy. Competition is nice if it's healthy, but it's not the ones that we've experienced non-healthy competition. So we view everyone as like just peers, doing the same thing. You do your thing, I do my thing. If you want to collab, that's fine. If you don't want, it's fine.
Yeah.
We just see you as peers lah. So there's no competition for anyone, and we are also trying to push the bars for horror. And if there is any, and I'm gonna say this is quite controversial, our competition is with the Western horror.
No, I would disagree with you. Because like it's also kind of the same reason why we feel that we don't see anybody else here as like competition in that sense, because we're not competing against them. It goes back to what we were saying just now about like how horror is it's a much wider genre than people give it credit for, where you can have like you can have comedy and you can have like romance, or you can have like, sentimentality in your horror.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like, yeah, of course people are doing other horror content on here, but the horror content and it's a point of pride for us that, in Southeast Asia, you look at all the horror content that comes out, and most of it's very different from each other.
Yeah, it is. It's very diverse.
Yeah.
Southeast Asia in and of itself is very, very diverse. And I feel like there's more than enough like room for all of us to just tell horror stories there.
Yeah.
So
I
it's human instinct, right?
Yeah.
To compare. But it has to be healthy lah. So I feel like if we can work with other local horror content creators, I think that would be more than happy to do it.
And honestly, man, the more the better.
Yes,
the way I
the
see
more
it.
the better. Yeah.
And so that's why I don't even see like Western horror content as like a
No.
competition.
I say as a snub
you
to them.
you just want to start a war, don't you?
No, I don't want to start a war.
Every episode is like, well, which one's better? The Southeast Asian goes or the Western goes.
No.
Don't think I don't know what you're doing.
No, I just feel that I just feel that Miss P is much more scarier than moving chairs. I rest my case.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Miss P will tear your genitals. What's gonna be a poltergeist gonna do? What's a poltergeist gonna do? Ooh, I lift up the chair, scary sial. Like Miss P can rip off your balls, bro. That's scary.
Yeah, but
Think about it.
if you ever need to move a house, who are you gonna call? Poltergeist,
No, they will move you out of the house,
They'll move you out of the house, but then
but
at
not
least
your stuff. Your stuff will be there.
Yeah, but if they're moving your stuff, they might as well move you out of the house as well.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like they chill, right? But Miss P, right? It's like, hi, bro, and straight away,
Just be no chill.
no chill. Yeah, only P. Yeah, I only dare to say that because I don't live alone, so I'm not that scared. Yeah. So Avni says that my answer always stun him. Kyle. No. Yeah, your spelling is absolutely correct. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Yeah, no, we genuinely believe this, so that's why we can say that. Yeah. Whatever happened to Boti lost in Malaysia?
Yeah, whatever
I
happened to
remember
Boti?
that kid. Boti, if you
Was
are
it
around,
2
like,
episodes, 3 episodes back, right?
reach out. Yeah.
Balti, we miss you.
Yeah, we miss
I
you.
can't remember
Boti.
what he was saying, but we miss you.
But I can see why if your parents don't allow you to watch the show because we drink and we swear. Sorry.
Oh, what do you mean we swear?
I said we as in our guests.
Oh no! Oh, now it's the guests.
Yeah, us.
This episode, how many times you swear already?
Yeah, no, but us, okay? Yeah,
But we do drink, yes.
we
That's
do
what
drink. So the next war is the ghost war. Yeah, probably nothing will be left lah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of ashes, I guess.
yeah. What makes you think they can burn? They can also be biodegradable. What? Be part of the environment, help the environment for once. Yeah.
I like how you're chastising ghosts, like, hey, help the environment, man.
Yeah, no, like if there's those YouTube, Facebook posts that you can now be biodegradable, like compost for the environment when you die, the corpse, right? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, if that is available,
fair.
right?
That's fair.
Yeah. Who are the regular viewer of your podcast? You. I hope, right? If you want a demographic breakdown, probably not because we only share that information with advertisers.
Like Tiger Beer.
But he says that it means dead air. Yeah, just basically people like you, people who listen to Ghostmats or
Wait, I got to this. If you want to find out who our regular viewers are, right, you're gonna have to tune in regularly.
nice. Nice. Yeah, I love that response. Yeah. So I mean, no, we're gonna start to wrap things up. Ask us any more questions if you have. Last chance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think let's give them like a minute to ask questions.
Yeah.
So fastest fingers first, guys.
Yeah.
I do see Lost Malaysia or something.
Yeah, no, he wants me to show you something.
Is it lizards? Because if it's lizards, I'm not looking.
No, it's not. He says, congratulations on 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, there is someone in the audience who never heard of We Are HANTU. It's impossible. They only produce the best Southeast Asian. Oh, I just shared it because I saw the tag. Yeah. They interview spectacular guests. Yeah, thanks so much. Lost in Malaysia. Really appreciate it, you know.
Wait, let me see the photo.
Yeah, he says that
Yeah, no,
you
that's,
look absolute goal.
That's
Yeah, he does look goal. Yeah.
That's gonna be our new profile picture for Ghost Maps.
How you found that one? I mean, it's on YouTube. Yeah, he looks fun.
That's gonna be our new profile photo for Ghost Maps. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just me going.
Yeah.
People always get the worst photos of me. I have no idea how.
Wayne never misses a way to collect viewer that attack. That's the talent. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wayne is like.
Hey man, I used to work in advertising. That's the one lesson I brought from that industry.
He's the face of Dead Air. You don't know, man.
Hey, come on. Faces.
I'm just the guy who reads the comment.
Like that, you can say I'm the guy that does the sign off.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, well, I am the guy that does the sign off also lah.
Yeah. So I mean, with that, I think it's late. Let's wrap things up.
I think let's just before we go into like our usual spiel about where to find us and stuff like that. Once again, we just want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. We want to thank all of you for tuning in over the last 2 years as well.
Man. Yeah.
Carl and I just we literally were talking about this the other day, and we just could not believe that it's been 2 years. The time has passed by. Like everything else in the world has moved very painfully slowly. But Ghost Maps has been like a breeze to us, and in a lot of ways, it's kind of like home for us as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for sticking around with us. Thank you for being there and contributing stories, and thank you just for the nice and kind words.
Yep.
And this is our second year, of many years to come, hopefully.
Yeah.
So once again, yay, happy second anniversary! But that's for
happy
us,
second,
and we're glad we could share it.
Yeah,
with you
we're
as
glad
well.
we could hang out with you guys.
Yeah. All right. So shall I do our usual sign off?
Yes.
All right. Time for my advertising voice to come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring. I'm not like doing this from memory. I have to bring my phone closer so I can read it because eyesight terrible. All right. New episodes of Ghost Maps go online every second and fourth Thursday of the month on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. To make sure you never miss an episode, subscribe now and follow on social media at We Are HANTU. That's one word, WeAreHantu. If we get to 10,000 followers on social media, I will go to the cemetery with Kyle. So if you haven't subscribed yet, it's a pretty good incentive for you to. If you would like to share your own stories that could inspire future episodes of Ghost Maps, you can reach us through the contact form on hantu.sg or message us directly through Facebook and Instagram. You can also buy our official merchandise like t-shirts, tote bags, and masks. T-shirts, tote bags, and masks. We're not wearing the mask right now. No pillows just yet, but if you buy enough from us on Redbubble, we might start including the pillows. Or you could be one of our supporters on Patreon. Search for We Are HANTU. Again, that's one word, WeAreHantu. It's Carl, do the pointing because it's like there. No, you're just pointing at my teeth. There we go. Okay. All right. So it's time for the sign off. And
Wait. I forgot to ask this very, very important question, which we didn't ask. How many of you guys would like to see us play games? Horror games, to be exact.
What's this us?
Okay.
It's okay. To be clear,
Us as in
he plays.
He will be the brain. I'll be the one who's like pressing the button.
I'm not gonna. You're giving me way too much. I will be the mouth.
Yeah, he'll just talk.
I will make snarky comments while he actually does all the work.
Yeah. So how many of you would like to see us play horror games?
Yeah.
By horror games, I'm talking about Fatal Frame, Silent Hill, Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And many much more horror games that's out there, indie horror games. Yeah, so leave it in the comments and let us know what you think. This is probably one of the new contents that we want to try.
Yeah.
So let us know.
Yeah. And again, just to specify, Carl be the one doing the actual playing because my speed for games is yesterday I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So
Ironically, that Sonic is very fast.
Hey, yeah, that's quite ironic. Yeah. Okay, Kyle, come on. You want to do the sign off together as usual. And 1, 2, 3. And remember, just because they're stories, it doesn't mean they're not true.
Thank you, everyone. Good night,
guys. Have a good night.